I wanna love you like an animal. Oh. Good morning. Good morning. I wanna love you like an animal. Good morning, Hendrix. We are here. We are here. Okay. Okay. Good morning. What kind of day will we have? Yeah. What kind of day are we going to have? I keep reminding myself to settle into this life that is so amazing. This is the reality where everything is amazing, right? That's my mantra. That's my mantra. This is the reality where everything is amazing. And then what happens? My little doggy, my new little rescue, jumps up on my husband's lap and looks at him like, pet me, as though she's never been scared of him. That is amazing. That's something amazing this morning. Bree, good morning. I'm always happy. Hello, Lime. I'm always happy to see my husband get love from our dogs because he's such a gentle human being. When I had 5 cats, my cats would come to bed with me and I would, for my leg room, I'd move a cat if I needed to. My husband would contort himself around the cats because he's that gentle, he's that kind. Graham, good morning. I've been seeing some stories on TikTok, women saying, as soon as we moved in together, he became a different person. As soon as our first baby was born, he became a different person. PJ, I want you guys to always be on your feet and always be ready to say, hey, you changed, but my standards didn't, so I have to go. So you used to be in control of your own behaviors, and now you punch walls. I have to go. You saying this is because of your new workplace, this is because of something you're going through, this is because you're having PTSD, or you're having a manic episode, whatever it is, your reply is, okay, but you changed and my standards didn't, so I have to go. Because nowhere in my standards did I say I have these standards unless. My standards were non-negotiable because they're there for my mental health and emotional well-being. If I have a standard that I won't be called names, there's no excuse that will keep me in a relationship with somebody who's calling me names. No reason that I would stay with somebody who's calling me names. Because my standard is I won't be called names. And if for any reason they're saying they're going to, my reply is, I'm not staying for it. I gotta go. You have a new baby? Doesn't matter. Make sure you always have your up and out of money. Hello, Diane. Always have your get up and go money. If somebody wants you to have a baby, the answer is, what's the pay? Because why should I make a baby and that takes me out of the workplace and I don't make my money? My money, the money I would be making in the labor field, I'm laboring somewhere. I'm laboring to make this baby. I'm laboring to raise the baby. I'm laboring to look after the home, or I'm laboring at my job as an engineer. Wherever I'm laboring, I should be paid. Dumbest thing you ever heard? Dumbest thing I ever heard is you saying I controlled you before I met you. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard anything dumber than some guy saying women have to tamper down their sexuality because this guy's going to have a problem. Dumbest thing I ever heard. These guys, look, this guy saying can't keep their legs closed. We should never have sex with that one, ladies. These guys who say body count matters, you should never have sex with them, right? Bo Weiser, Lily, we should never have sex with them, right? These guys who say body count matters, we should never have sex with them because they don't want women to have sex with them. Women should keep their legs closed, right? Look at this guy. Doesn't even know what a woman's body part looks like. Is this another mechanophiliac? Is this another objectophiliac? Is that another one of those? He likes to do Arby's sandwiches instead of women. Ladies, the objectophiles, they got their kinks, that's for sure. The objectophiles like to do things instead of women. They fantasize about things instead of women. That's why they come and talk about things instead of women. The mechanophiliacs, they are more excited by cars than women. They come here talking about how they'll pick a car because that car is going to turn them on. But they don't pick women because they're not into women. They're into things. We're not into boys that are into things. That's why we use the no kissing for 3 months dating rules, so that we can identify them and block and delete them because they're not our preference. And we have preferences, and nobody can tell us what our preferences are. Nobody gets to tell me what my preferences are going to be. Right? Nobody.
It's that time of the year where my dad is overworked and burning.
Nobody. Exactly. These males have zero accountability. I have to tell you that you have to not have experience before me because I don't take accountability for my insecurity. Right? Zero accountability. So go cope. We'll just block and delete you. We'll leave you for the therapy you need to get because you don't take any accountability for your imagination. I'm going to give myself emotions over things that aren't happening right now because I couldn't control you before I met you and I got all kinds of feels about that. We're going to block and delete you so you can get the therapy, right? I'm talking about you so you can go get the therapy that you need for your emotions over not being able to control things you had no right to control in the first place. Right? Clearly you're delusional. Clearly you want a parent-child dynamic. Why is it a control tactic? Because you don't control yourself. You say, hey, I need to know if you followed my rules before I met you because I controlled you before I met you and I need to know if you followed my rules. That's why I'm asking what your body count is because I made up rules for you to follow. And now I want to know if you followed my rules because it's a control tactic. Hi. Good morning. Hello, Sincha. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. It matters to me to teach women to block and delete losers, because every time a woman follows my instructions and blocks and deletes some guy who says body count matters, an angel gets their wings, because another woman has liberated herself from some guy who was controlling and insecure and not taking responsibility for himself. His dysfunction would not be her distraction. That's why I do what I do. I love what I do, because I love seeing women be happier, because they're not being oppressed by a bop. Boring, oppressive, PP obsessed, bops. Hello, thank you. So, yeah. Yes, it's important for me to teach women to block and delete bops, boring, oppressive, PP obsessed, right? Ladies, if they're ashamed of themselves, block and delete them. We don't want people who don't like themselves. Again, release them for the therapy they need, right? Release them for the therapy that they need, but we're not going to stick around because we have better things to focus on, like our goals and ambitions. Love that you do it. Thank you, Des. Our well-being, our environment, the people we will pick, our friends, our romantic partners, our hookups, whatever. That's what we concern ourselves about, but we don't think twice about these guys who need therapy. We just block and delete them so they can go get the therapy. Because if we didn't block and delete them and we let them continue to use our attention, they're going to drain our attention but not get therapy. So if we don't block and delete them, we're not helping anybody. Ladies, don't forget to get your BOP bingo card in the link in my bio. BOPs are boring, oppressive, and PP obsessed. They are so boring, they say the same thing over and over again. So you can make a bingo card in the link in my bio. Everybody gets their own bingo card. Once you click that button, everybody has an individual bingo card. You can look at the words they use in the chat. Also listen to the words that they use when they're talking in the talkie box, and play bingo with their words, because they're so boring. They say the same thing over and over again. So we literally use their boringness and make it more fun by playing bingo with their repetitiveness, because there's nothing interesting or unique about them. They all say the same thing. They all do the same thing. So we use how boring they are just to make these live streams more interesting. Watching, hello. Hey, good morning. Here's some ran through guy, ladies. A ran through guy is the one who's standing behind you, not in your present, actually looking at you. No, he goes, no, lady, I'm going to shove you aside and run through you because I want to go inspect the boys that you used to be with, says the ran through guy. Ran through guys say body count matters because they're busy pushing women aside to go inspect the boys they used to be with. They want to hear about the boys. Tell me about the boys. How many boys? Want to think about the boys. That number of boys you're going to tell me is the number of boys I'm going to think about slapping against my face, because I like to think about those boys smacking their pee-pees against my face, which is why I ask you how many peepees to think about, how many peepees in your past, how many peepees in your friend circle, how many peepees in your workplace, where there are peepees at that event you went to. Tell me about peepees, constantly asking you to tell me stories about peepees. I never stop bringing them up because I'm obsessed. What was the first sign of my obsession? Shoving you aside. What's your body count, lady? I'm not here to find out about you. I want to hear about peepees. Exactly, super childish. That's how we instantly block and delete them, because I'm looking for an adult for a long-term relationship, not some childish guy swimming in his insecurity. We have a liar and a fearmonger in the comment section. Isn't that interesting?
Body count does matter. Oh, I'd have a go on you, host. I would 100% have a go on you.
He said body count matters, but he wants to hop on me. I thought body count matters. Notice the hypocrisy, ladies, with these guys who say body count matters, right? Notice the hypocrisy. Notice the disrespect, right? But that's what we are getting rid of when we instantly block and delete the ones who say body count matters. Of course he wouldn't have a chance. Good morning. Delusional, exactly. For marriage? No, you're not good for marriage. You're not marriage material if you think body count matters, because you're too busy thinking about boys. When we women get married, we want to marry the man who's thinking about women, not a guy thinking about dudes. Diane, good morning.
Hey, I love how you just ran through that last guy.
He was very ran through, wasn't he? Who's playing Bot Bingo? There you go. It matters on your Bot Bingo card. Anybody have Bot Bingo? Anybody have It Matters on their bingo card? Different opinion? We don't care about his opinion. We don't validate his opinion. He's not important to us. I'm waiting for, if you want to do a debate, I'm waiting for somebody who could actually bring facts. Opinions are not facts.
You guys think that they're, like we women have to listen to their opinion?
You're right, that entitlement, right? Only people with the same opinion as me matter. Exactly. Only people with the same opinion as me matter. I don't give you validation just because you showed up in my environment. You don't matter just because you want to matter. I choose who matters. And if you choose to be controlling and insecure, I remove you from my environment because you don't matter. It's that simple, ladies. That's what you do. That's what they don't want you to do, by the way. They don't want you to control your environment. They don't want you to block and delete them. They don't want you to invalidate their mentality. They want to try to tell you that you should be nice and you should give everybody your time and attention. And we say, no, we don't. We block and delete you. We decide if you stay around us, not you. Jasmine, good morning. Hi, what did you want to say?
No, I just want to speak about, because obviously me personally, I think body count does matter. I don't want to make like a whole mad argument about it. I just want to have, just civil debate.
Okay, so a debate is about facts, not opinions or feelings.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you able to bring facts?
Yeah, I'm basing this off my belief system, which
No,
is my
that's
religion.
not facts. Your
I'm
belief
basing this off
is
my
fine.
religion, which
You're talking
I do
over
believe is
me.
a
That
fact.
tells me that you're not here to actually listen to anything. I have no idea what he said, but his belief is not facts. So this is why we have yet to have a proper debate on this, because none of these emotional little boys have been able to actually bring facts. Their opinions, their feelings, their experiences, none of that matters. We're here for facts and facts only, but they're getting very angry when I stick to facts. They're getting very angry when I don't let them vomit their indoctrination and use up my space and oxygen. They're very angry that I don't let them Jehovah Witness at the door here and try to convince you to be indoctrinated as well into their bullshit brainwashing. That has nothing to do with facts. Every single time they come here trying to say science says, statistics say, studies say, I say, bring me where that fact is, because if science says there's a peer-reviewed study out there saying that, so bring me the peer-reviewed study. Not a single one has done that. So we have yet to have a debate because not a single one is bringing facts. They're bringing their emotions and opinions, but not facts. No, your opinions and feelings don't matter. I don't validate you. Ladies, don't validate these boys. Don't validate their opinions. Don't validate their feelings. Block and delete them to go get the therapy they need. They need to get therapy for thinking they controlled you before they met you. Just block and delete them. That opinion doesn't matter. That feeling doesn't matter. Release them to get the therapy they need.
Really not that complicated. We know that there are people who have a different opinion. We know that there are people who care about body count. We're just saying block and delete those people. So if you want to have a debate, you're not debating whether body count matters or not, because it doesn't matter to us and it matters to you. Agree to disagree. The debate is it a matter of control and manipulation? And you can't prove that it isn't. That's the debate.
And your feelings don't matter. And that says you kick everyone from speaking whenever they disagree. No, I kick them because they're not speaking facts. I kick them because they're lying in fear mongering. I kick them because they're being disrespectful. I kick them because I don't care about what they think and feel. And they're getting upset about that because they think everybody should care about what they think and feel because they're entitled. So I kick entitled people. They don't have a right to my time and attention just because they want it. Their religion will influence their morality, yeah, but they're morally bankrupt, because anybody who says I control a woman's body is morally bankrupt. Nobody controls my body. And if you think you do, you need to be eliminated because you're dysfunctional. You're too mentally ill to be around me. I got to tell you what you could do before I met you. That's a mental illness. And we're not going to deal with your mental illness.
Why would consensual sex be a moral issue anyway?
This guy says he's a Christian. We should love everybody equally because this guy's a Christian and he says women should do that, right? Diane, that's what he said, pretty much. He's trying to tell women that we should accept everybody's opinions because he's a Christian. But you're not accepting what we're saying, and you're a Christian. It seems like you're a hypocrite.
Well, yeah, that makes no sense.
Mm-mm. Hi, Darrell. What did you want to say? Tyrell, what did you want to say? Uh-oh. There was a cross in there. That was not going to go well. I didn't mean to do that, actually. Did they go away? Maybe. Right. Well, religion is it's books written by guys with daddy issues. So.
There's almost like there's about 4,000 different religions on the planet. So, if we start invoking every religion and every belief, like your God is not the only God that people believe in. And your truth, your book, your storybook
Yeah.
doesn't control everybody. It might control you, but it doesn't have to control everybody.
It does not control me because I don't subscribe to guys with daddy issues. Hi, what did you want to say?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. What did you want to say?
Oh, awesome. I just wanted to say I'm glad you had this forum for women to come to. I do agree with you. My sister had a very hard time with the experiences she had. I saw it for myself as a guy. I was very sad to not be able to smack these guys into reality that people can do whatever they want, be whoever they want, and I don't know. I just think too, there's a lot of, like you say, religious guys out there that are just scary to me. They just think from some book that was written who knows how long ago from some man, obviously, to control women and anyone else that was stupid enough to just ingest it and not think for themselves. But again, I'm just here to say I support what you're doing. I think you're doing an awesome job, and I also think that too. I can see your frustration with all these guys, boys, I would say, that they're just coming across very aggressive and they're over speaking and they're not pausing to let you just say what you need to say because everyone has their own take on things, and this is your forum. So I do see a very aggressive amount of guys online just spewing this "I'm a man, you're a woman, know your place" nonsense. I'm like, dude, you got a mother. Is that what you would say to your own mother? Is this weird to me? Because I would never shame anyone in my family, whoever they was. I don't care. I want them to be happy. So if you concerned about how many guys or girls with, yeah, I agree with you. Something is wrong with you because why do you even care what her past was? If you care for that person right now, she's there right in front of you. Where's the other, whoever the hell these guys are in their life? They're not there. So yeah, I do believe a lot of these guys are ego driven. They feel like, yo, she's been with a bunch of guys. She's this or that. But these guys, I think inherently are very aggressive, very controlling. They don't ever want to have a girl that's, that's just a regular person who, because everyone sleeps with everyone. What's the big deal? That's what we're here to do. I get it. We're not supposed to be sloppy about it, but we're messy people. The planet is messy. Nothing is made in order. So for these guys to come in and hate on me, yeah, you can blah 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 me, but at the same time, you're just very hateful because you want to control every bit of aspect of your life, and that includes the person that you so-called love. And if you can't love that person just how they are naturally, if you can't trust them to go outside and be that trusting person, then you have to fix yourself because you are the problem. Your aggressiveness, your religion. And I say a lot of these guys that, and I don't want to just pick out one. I think all religious men are warped. I have a spiritual take on things, but I don't think you should look at a book and say, this is what you should be doing. It's so stupid. Yeah, take out some good parts of it and do what you want with it, but to make it your whole life and say, oh, my God told me that if you're doing this, you're a bad person or you're like, just shut up, man. You're speaking from 2,000 years ago and you're an effing idiot. And I don't care if any guy disagrees with me. Any man that thinks that a woman should do what he says because he's a man is just an idiot. So anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I feel for you because, yeah, I only can do so much. I try my best to enlighten as many guys as I can, the ones that at least want to, but you can tell the ones that want to be different, think different, versus the ones that go, okay, let me tell you my religion. Okay, maybe my religion says you're disgusting and you're vile.
They haven't even read
Whatever,
the
dude.
book. They haven't even
Yeah.
read the Bible. All they do
Yeah,
is
no.
they listen to other people say what confirms their own bias, and they regurgitate that. But they haven't even read the book. They haven't read every word written by Jesus, said by Jesus. They haven't looked at that at all.
And they pick and choose
Yeah.
the parts that they believe in, right? Oh, I like this one,
Pick
and
and
I don't
choose.
like that one.
Pick and choose. It's all of that. It's picking and choosing. And of course, we all know that these books have been rewritten by men to tell everyone else what they should be doing. I just had enough of it. I've had enough of these religious people and this uprising lately, the last few years, of all these religious men walking around talking all this bullshit while at the same time they're beating their wives, they're cheating on their wives, they're saying they're doing everything but being good people. So it's just like, yeah, I've had enough. And that's why I have a hard time even being friends with guys, because I find that if I can't respect the guy and how he thinks, I don't care, what he is, but if he thinks like a Neanderthal, a guy that thinks that he can control everything because he's a man, I literally can't stand them. And I hate to say it, as much as I travel to Asian countries and America and Europe, I find that it's a hit and miss wherever you go. Some people are very, open-minded, and a lot of men are still like, women should know their place, blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, guys like me, we have to just, play it cool and find the corners that we can fit in, because a lot of these guys are idiots.
Sorry, I just want to jump in for a second. I just want to
Yeah, sure.
correct you, because Chantal makes the difference, and you've literally like inverted the way she uses the words, but Chantal makes the difference between men and guys. And in her methodology, the men are more like you. The guys are the ones you're talking about, right? So real men care about women. Real men are conscientious. They're, Chantal can give you more information, but I just thought I'd point that out, because you were saying men, the guys out there all over the world who are shitty, and then you appointed yourself as a guy, and I thought it would be important to just point out that that's actually flipped
Thanks,
under
Diane.
her methodology,
you.
since it's, her platform.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit heated, because when I hear this guy talking about stuff, it just I just had enough of hearing these guys talk about religion and how women should behave and how they should do this, all this. Like, I just want to puke. And hearing you guys talk is refreshing, because it's like, I'm glad women are at least saying, shut the fuck up. It's enough already. And I do believe that. I know it's going to change eventually. It just takes time. Hopefully a lot of people will wake up and stop reading these stupid religious books, and just start seeing the people in front of them. We're a culture where we have to be, we like to be around people. We like to, have culture. So it's just sad to me that there's these other nasty aspects of having to, talk to people and involve yourself with people. And so, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I definitely, I'm glad you took the time to talk to me. I don't talk to many people, so I'm very happy, and I hope you have a good Christmas and a happy New Year. And and that's basically it. So thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Sweet. Very sweet. Spread that wisdom. Sabah. Sabah. Hello.
Hi,
What did you say?
let's talk about the main point of this live, right? Body count doesn't matter.
That's right.
In reality, it really does not matter when you come to a point, at some point. Because Jesus says that if you can turn you around at any point of your life and can be with him, do right stuff, it doesn't matter. Like,
Well, for the record, it's not like we have to be ashamed of our sexuality and then Jesus gave us forgiveness. It's we've always been okay with sexuality, and Jesus was always okay with sexuality, never requiring that you ask forgiveness for enjoying your own body, right?
I mean, Jesus gave you the right to do this. Like, it's not a problem.
He didn't
But
give the
if you
right.
have to be
Just
married,
for the
not the
record,
married.
I was born with the right to do what I want with my own body. Nobody gave me that right. I was born with the right to do what I want with my own body. Are we clear with that?
Yeah, of course, it's your
Okay.
body, it's your own choice, what you ever do it. But main point is that Jesus said, if you will be with me, you will be forever with me in heaven. If you won't be, you won't be with me in heaven. So you where you go will be. Its main point is you will be in hell. So I'm not like
Oh,
justifying. Wait, I'm not saying anything back to you. Like you are in your person, you can do whatever you like. But main point
Thank
is
you,
that
thank you so much for
yes,
coming up here and telling us we have the right to do what we want. We really, really
yeah, of
appreciate
course,
your permission for us to do
absolutely
what we
right.
want with our own bodies.
Wait, you don't understand me. Did I give you the permission? Did I tell you that? I told you that you always had the right to do that when you were born. Why are you making my words different? Please don't do that. So, main point my talking is that you can do whatever you like.
Jamie said,
I just can't. Like, I don't need a man to tell me I have the right to do what I want to do with my body. And I know that, like, don't get me wrong, Chantal. Like,
no,
I
no,
know that
we heard it loud and clear. Like we
there
heard
are
it
some
loud and
good
clear.
ones. Yeah, there are some good ones who come and they're validating our perspective. From him, it just came up as really like it was just icky. I'm sorry. That was just icky.
Carol, you can ask me whatever you want.
Hello.
Hi. No Bible thumping here, you guys. This is like, listen, we love Jesus. Jesus is the GOAT, but we just don't do religion here, okay?
Did you say Jesus is the GOAT?
Jesus was amazing. Did you not know that?
Wait, did you just say he was the GOAT?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Seriously, I'm very aware of what Jesus did, and I'm aware that Jesus did things that we can do ourselves. And Jesus showed us that we could do that if only we applied ourselves to it. It's just who's meditating as much as he is, right? And that's the point, is that when you come into your power, when you meditate, because I meditated and I sat across from somebody holding a piece of paper that had someone's name, age, city that they lived in, and a medical issue, and I never met that person. I haven't even been to that city, and I went into a meditative state and touched that person and told the person sitting across from me that person's an amputee. What are the chances of me getting it right, let alone the right part of the body, let alone the right side? Day, what are the chances I would get that right? You tell me right now. What do you think?
Wait, sorry, what was the question?
Big chance or a slim chance? If you had a piece of paper with somebody's name, age, city they live in, and a medical condition, and I never met that person, Day, what are the chances I could tell you what's wrong with the person? A big chance or a slim chance?
It depends how good you are at reading people.
Depends how good you are. Depends how much you're practicing meditation. I did that after a weekend of meditating like Jesus, right? Meditating like hours every day. So what Jesus did is what we can do, and that's what he was telling us, is that we are one unto God. What I do, you can do, and I'm just showing you your capabilities.
So are you Christian?
No, not at all. But I've studied religion, and I've studied Buddhism and Christianity and spirituality and meditation and behaviorism and the science behind meditation, including the study that Harvard did where they did MRI scans and then had people meditate for 8 weeks and then took another MRI scan, looked at the two side by side and saw the part of the brain that produces stress, fear, and anxiety shrank. That's your hippocampus. That's your fight or flight. When you meditate for 20 minutes a day, those moments that would stress you out don't stress you out as much.
I have a question. I have two questions, actually. So first of all, what do you think of 26-year-old, 6'8", nonchalant men?
That's what I think. I think they don't exist. I think they sound like men that are trying to hit on me, and I think I make them non-existent because I don't want males to come and hit on me. That's not what I'm here for.
I don't see how nonchalant was supposed to be like a good thing.
I showed nonchalant. Kiddo, what did you want to say?
Hi, first of all, hi, thanks for allowing me up here. Okay, just a question for you. Your title says body count doesn't matter, but then how do you answer someone like Lily Phillips that did 100 men, thought the same as you, body count is not important, and now regrets it terribly?
That's because it was 100 guys, not 100 men. If she had done, like if she had taken the time to select, right, like actually select, if she had interviewed, gotten a vibe of them, asked them questions to feel out if they were going to be a considerate experience, if she had selected 100 men that were going to give her a considerate experience, it would have been a different experience than the 100 guys that showed up and did give a crap about her. Of course, that would have been exhausting.
I give my take.
Sure.
My take is that first of all, are you calling out all of the 100 guys that were waiting their turn to have sex with the same person? That's my first part. The second part is what she's doing now has nothing to do with her ability to be in a relationship in the future. So no, her body count doesn't matter. The fact that she chose to do what she did is her choice. If she has regrets, she can heal that, right? She can go to therapy, she can come and see me, she can do all kinds of different things and heal her regrets so that she's at peace with the choice that she made.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Maybe I come again to ask you another question, but at least my question was serious. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Did he get hello? Hi.
I just hate this whole narrative of this woman. Like,
Right. So that was his question?
I said if he'll come back up if he thinks of another question.
Okay. This
If it
guy,
matters to her future partner, then she won't be with him. Who cares?
No.
Then he's not a good person. If he cares that she, like, oh, come on. We don't give a fuck.
No. That's not a future partner. Controlling, insecure, stuck in the past, PP obsessed, ran through. We don't pick those. Look what we're gonna pick. Where do we write ran through? Nowhere. So ran through is not a future partner. We don't pick
those.
Sorry.
Do you think those guys are going to be telling? No, I'm the one who cut you off. You think those guys are going to be telling their future partners, "Oh yeah, I was number 90. Remember that woman? I was 90. I was so fun. I was just waiting in line, and then I banged her." You know what I mean? And I was 91, and I would like. Are they going to be divulging that? No.
Hello.
Hi. What did you
Hi,
want to
hi.
say?
In Christianity, I say you have to get married together, yeah? But same time, in Christian, I cannot give one plant for help. I cannot give like,
Are you Christian?
no, I am Muslim.
Oh,
But
so body count matters to you, right? Because of religion?
no, this is not religion, but this is true. Because if you can have two gays,
This
sex
is
together,
not religion, but you're talking about Christianity.
No, it's not religion. But my religion tells me that this is the truth. But it's not religion. But my religion tells me this is the truth. No, go away.
But I'm Muslim, but I'm going to talk about Christianity.
Right.
That was so confusing.
Christian? No, Muslim. Oh, body count matters because religion. No. But in his religion, you're not supposed to even kiss until you get married. Hi, Tess.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Who's playing bingo? Anybody have their bot bingo card? Hands up in the comment section if you have your bot bingo card. If you don't know what bot bingo is, bops are boring, oppressive, PP obsessed people who say body count matters. These are bops, boring, oppressive, PP obsessed. So they're so boring. We play bingo with their words. Jasmine's playing, Tracy's playing. So if you go to my profile, click the link tree at the top, you're going to see there's a bot bingo card in the link tree. You can use that and play bingo with their words. Also, Island Beauty playing bingo. So you can use the words in the comment section. You can use the words in the chatty box when they come and talk with us and play bingo with their words. I know that we've had some squares. We've had some squares bingo today. Hello, Princess.
Hi, I just wanted to speak on something like super fast that I went through in a live last night. So I went through a live and the prompt was, does body count matter for women? And there was a couple of men and 2 women on the panel besides me. And the woman was, one of the women was going back and forth with the men, and the host, as to be expected, he started to insult not only the woman who was arguing, but he decided to insult all women who have higher body counts. And that really made me like think about your ideology outside of this live, like the whole making up stories, the throwing insults. Like one of the guys said that, well, women who have high body counts might have trauma from sleeping with a lot of men. And I'm like, and I put in the comments, like, you guys just make up stories about people you don't know. Like you guys make up archetypes of people and then put that archetype onto people you've never met. So I just think about your ideology a lot when I go into those lives.
Because that just means they're having traumatic sex, right? So they're projecting that onto other people. That's their experience. Can you imagine thinking that sex is traumatic, like consensual sex is traumatic? That's their experience.
Yeah, I mean, consensual sex can be healthy depending on who you do it with.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to like bring up. Just how much the way you think applies to other lives.
I'm glad you're here, Princess, and I'm glad you're also spreading the knowledge that you're getting here. I appreciate that, my love.
You're welcome.
That's how we're gonna do this evolution revolution. You and I working together. Thank you.
I try.
Yes, I know you are. I love this. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
Yes, Princess.
Had some disappointing sex in my life, but that didn't, I wasn't traumatized by it.
Yeah. 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 I want a darker lip. I want to get a dark lip. I keep coming back to this over and over again. This is my new, it's a lip and a cheek from Tarte. Literally trying to traumatize you to validate themselves, right? Right. Yeah. These guys forever committed to creating trauma. Here's the thing, my love. When you're you're not wrong, right? When I say that you being in the wrong relationship doesn't change until you remove yourself, I mean it. They don't care that you're fighting. They don't care that you're arguing. They don't care that you're unhappy. Your emotional destabilization, did I say that right? Your emotional instability is what they thrive on because it keeps you with them, conveniently giving them access to your body because you keep hoping things will be better. You keep hoping you're going to have happiness with these losers. Look at this one here saying, shut the hell up. Because when I teach you to get rid of the loser instead of staying and hoping, the loser no longer has access to convenience. That's why they try to silence me so much. That's why they come here every day trying to convince you to not listen to me. Because when you start listening to me, you start rejecting them. When my methodology says, let the best man win, and you see them come out of the woodwork saying, that's unreasonable, you see who you're getting rid of. The ones who don't want you to pick the best one because they want you to pick them instead. They don't care that you're fighting. They don't care that you're arguing. They don't care that you're unhappy. Your lack of stability keeps you with them, meaning keeps you controlled by them. They don't want you to be okay.
We should, you know, we never say gaslighters, but they're gaslighters.
Yeah.
You know, like the projection of like, oh, you must be traumatized when I'm not. Like that's gaslighting.
No, it's very much projecting also.
Sean Marie is asking about muting, like what you want muted or not
Yeah,
muted.
let them stay and play a little bit today, Sean Marie. Psycho, what do you want to say?
What do you mean, like body count doesn't matter? Like,
You sound emotional. Can you?
for what purpose?
What purpose? Logic.
I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, shit. But
No,
what's
yeah.
the point of body count?
Did he ask me what my body count was?
No.
What did you? Sorry, what did you say?
I say it matters how you got that body.
No. So what matters more? How I got the body count or who I am today? What matters more?
I mean, of course, it matters who you are today, but like,
So what matters more? That was the first thing. Like I'm very precise with my wording. So what would your answer be? What matters more?
who you are today.
That's what I
That
say.
don't change.
So what I'm saying is we're not going to reject you if you are what we're looking for just because you had sex with people before we met you. Because we're not that illogical. What we do is we assess the character of the person.
That's like saying I'd get with a porn star as a mother. Hell no.
You can do whatever you want. We don't care. We block and delete people who think body count matters because they don't meet our preference.
Yeah, I get that completely.
There you go. So did you have any questions for me?
Say that one more time.
I said, did you have any questions for me?
Like, what is the purpose? Like, are you just trying to like tell people that like body count doesn't matter, like about who you are?
So I am a life coach. I niche in dating and relationships. I have 11 books on dating and relationships. 11 because there's so many aspects of it. So what I do to condense it is that I teach people how to pick the right person, and then I teach them how to be the right person. 2 of my best-selling books are these ones right here. It's my dating book for women, No More Assholes. So step 1 is we're not going to pick somebody we complain about. So I need to monitor the words coming out of my mouth and take accountability for what I say. If I've been saying to my friends, he's such an asshole, he did it again, I need to get rid of him because I picked the wrong person. So step 1 is picking the person who loves me more than dysfunction. And then step 2 is me getting a hold of my dysfunction and being a functional person in this relationship. So what we're doing is we're eliminating fights and arguments, because fights and arguments are you trying to change people. I don't like how you are. I'm going to argue and fight with you until you change, because I don't like how you are, what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're dressing, where you're going, who you're talking to. So we're not going to get in those relationships because we're going to pick people we accept. And then we're not going to be dysfunctional and abusive. We are going to take control of our own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So that is my goal.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Life coach, like, so, but do you like encourage people to not gain bodies though, at least?
So I say body count doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how high or how low. What matters is that you understand yourself. My husband understood himself with 2 people before me. I was number 3. I understood myself with many people before him. Both of us understood ourselves when we picked a long-term partner, and we picked somebody compatible. Body count didn't get in the way of each of us picking a long-term compatible partner. We've been together for 18 years now. Last time I made out with this man was this morning, right? And so my high body count, his low count didn't interfere with a healthy relationship. We picked based on character.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm gonna just sit back and listen. You can remove me.
Okay, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming up. That was nice. That was nice. Oh, promiscuous ladies. We reject the word promiscuous. It is a word that is attempting to be handed off to us by guys with daddy issues who want women to be ashamed of their own bodies and sexuality. We reject that word. We throw it in the garbage. The proper verbiage is consensual sexual activity, not promiscuous. Also, we throw out the word ultimatum. That one goes in the garbage. It's replaced with the proper word, which is standards. You no longer meet my standards, so I'm going to block and delete you. That's not an ultimatum. It's them failing to meet our preferences. Where did he go? Exactly. Hello, A. So abusive. No, hello, Major. So much, Jasmine. When we see the crosses, we go instant block and delete. Do you think Jesus ever wants to see another cross? And these people are wearing them. Come on, Jesus, waiting for your second coming. Here's that thing we nailed you to where you died miserably on. Let me wear it to show you how much I love you. Is that not insane? Probably. Competing to be rejected the fastest. Chris, that's a good one. Is that not insane, right? It is. Like, are they thinking it's a death cult? I didn't think of it that way, right? But like, when we start thinking, we start going, wait a second. They don't belong in 2025 now. Wait a second. So, no, thank you, right? Make the party pop. Ooh, gateway process. Guys, who here has been meditating consistently ever since you started listening to me? So in the last couple of years, you started meditating consistently, maybe in the last few months, started meditating consistently. Have you noticed what happens? Have you noticed how you've become luckier? Have you noticed more good things happening? Have you noticed that you seem to be surfing life a little better, not getting tumbled under the waves as often? Calmer, less reactive, surfing state hand, right? Surfing on top of life instead of getting pulled under the waves, tumbling underneath, gasping for air, hoping you survive this one. Block. Right. Thank you. Yoga as well. Ali Pali, good. Keto. Sure. Right, what did you want to say?
Oh, hi. I'm happy to wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the
That's
queue.
fine. That's fine.
Just a question for you guys. Like, do you disassociate the person and their sexuality? Like, for you, like the person is something and what they do sexually is something else?
No,
Or
we never turn people into things. That's why some of us don't even know our body count, because we were never egotistically attached to a number as though it was the number that mattered. The people matter, the experience matters, so we never turn them into a thing.
but see, here's my blocking point with all this stuff is so imagine a guy marries a girl who had a high body count and she says, I loved you.
Me? I have a high body count. My man married me. So imagine me. What about me?
No,
No,
let's
what
speak
about me? What
general.
about my situation? You're saying imagine. I can help you with that because I'm right in it. I'm going to help with your imagination. So
No,
imagine.
I don't want to talk about people personal.
Yes, let's do
Okay,
the story.
you, whoever. I
Imagine.
just finished.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Keep going. Imagine. Keep
All
going.
right, so let's just imagine that a guy meets a girl,
Mhm.
and he falls in love with her,
Mhm.
and he likes her very much, and she says, "Oh, I had sex with I had the S I can't say that had S with like 100 people."
Don't even know. Don't even know that is that high. Yeah. Then what happens?
Okay, and
Then what happens?
then surely in his heart he's thinking,
Oh,
okay,
no,
so
no, no,
you
no.
love
You
them.
can't speak for him.
Well,
Now
then
you're a liar. See, I
Yeah,
got to
well,
get rid of you, Kiko, if you're going to lie, because you can't speak for him. You can't speak for people you've never spoken to. And you're not going to do that here as though you're going to convince us of a story you made up inside your head that isn't even reality. And you're going to try to tell us that you're speaking for
okay,
all
someone I
men.
know. Okay,
You're
I'm
going to
speaking of
try to
someone I
tell
know.
us
All right.
you're going to try to tell us that you're speaking for all men as you're making up this fallacy, this gaslighting that you're trying to do here. I told you
Okay, I'll
the
speak
truth.
on behalf of
No,
someone
no,
I
no,
know.
Kiko. I told you the truth. She gets married to a wonderful man. I told you the truth. And you're here lying, saying that man is going to think and feel some kind of way. You're lying as you're trying to speak for
I haven't
somebody
used
you've
to ask
never
my
spoken
question
to,
here, my friend.
Kiko. So I'm going to
Chantal,
give you one last chance to use
I've
honest language and honest language only.
All right.
If you're
Okay, I
going to
have a
speak,
friend.
why are you talking over me? If you're going to speak for other people, I will remove you. Do you understand, Kiko?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Honest language only.
Okay, so a friend of mine. Is that better?
No, I'm going to help you out, okay? So you can have another minute on the panel. I'm going to help you out.
Myself and I.
All right, my issue. Okay, oh, I see. Okay, all right. Well, my issue is if I met a woman that had a high body count
Yes.
and I liked, okay, is that
I
better?
would be insecure.
Well, let me
would go
ask
into
my question.
imagination.
Chantal,
I
can I
would
just ask
have
the question?
emotions. I would
Chantal, I
people
come to the
get
point of asking my
therapy.
question and you seem to block me there. I don't know why.
You need the therapy.
But can I just ask, you don't know what my question is? No, it's not the question. The question is that
What's the question?
if I ask her, well, I'll just say the question, it'll take a second.
Okay.
So the question is that if I were to meet a girl that I liked and she has a high body count and she tells me, yeah, I love them, I like them all. I'm like, well, you love me. You tell me that you love me. I don't feel that special. I don't particularly feel that special. What's so special about me then?
You don't feel special. You require a woman's labor to feel special because you have not yet worked on your own self-esteem and mental health and emotional
Give me an
well-being.
example.
And so for you to feel special, you require a woman having no experience. For you to
Not
feel
at all.
special, you need the therapy.
No. Okay, let me give you another example.
Wait. Before
So
you
I
give
met- I
another,
know a man-
no.
No.
Oh, he said she loved all of them, and that makes him less special because if she loved all of them, how can she also love him? Because if she has loved other people, her love is less special. If she's slept with other people, her body is less special. Everything about her makes him less special because it wasn't only him, and that's what he requires to feel special is for the woman to do the labor.
It's okay. Maybe I'll give you a better example. That's
a
true.
Weird
So
thing because I have 4 kids and I love all of them. I didn't love my oldest less because I had more, right? You're capable of loving
Right, good
more
point,
than one
Des.
person.
Like just with friends, right? I love my friends.
Yeah, I
Sure.
absolutely love my friends.
okay, let's put sex aside. Let's put the S word aside.
I
Let's
tell
put
my,
S word
my
aside.
friends every single day, I love you
Okay.
guys.
All right, let's
And
put
it
the S
doesn't
word
make
aside.
my husband feel any less special. That's weird.
So I'd
All
like
right.
to
So
point out
let's
that
put this.
I
Can I?
Just so that you understand my mental health, I don't tell people my birthday because I am special every day. And I don't require that they treat me specially on a certain day because I am special every day. And my specialness is independent of other people. Go on.
All right. So, don't say Matt. I know someone who's very charming, very mature in age. He's very poetic when he speaks, and he tells people it's in Arabic. So in Arabic, it's a very poetic language, and when he speaks in Arabic, he says the most beautiful things. So he told me something very special, and it made me feel really nice, and I felt warm from what he said. But then he said it to someone else. He said the same beautiful thing to someone else, and I'm like, if it goes around,
and then I said it to my dogs. I said I love you to my husband, and then I said it to my dogs and my husband because he's insecure and he thinks he's insignificant. He felt less special, right? So you hear yourself.
It's nothing. It's something.
You're talking over me. Do you hear what you're saying? How you depend on other people for your mental health and emotional well-being? That means you are disempowered. You require women do the labor of making you feel good because you don't fix yourself. As I kept saying, you require the therapy.
You were talking over me, by the way. I mean, I was.
This is my platform, and I will do whatever I want. And if you don't
including
like it,
talking
I'll
over
kick
me.
you out.
That's fine, Chantal.
Exactly. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Don't come here thinking you control the narrative or the conversation or who gets to talk when. Hi, Dio. Here's somebody I let talk whenever he wants.
It's when they can't acknowledge their own insecurities. Like you're insecure, dude.
Dio, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Amazing. Dio's a very great example of somebody who never bores me.
I wanted to add, and I wanted to speak to Cairo because it's mostly important, whatever the gender is. We all have a love map. And in our love map, we are building who we want. And in his love map, he wants someone who behaves to himself uniquely and only specific way to him. But that is basically his base need that he cannot himself satisfy to himself. So basically it's him who has to believe in his uniqueness rather than someone making him unique. And if he does it, he will feel himself that way all the time, and he will not need to abuse someone with making them their psychological equipment to feel his fulfillment.
I love how you just put that. Ladies, we will no longer be used as psychological equipment.
Exactly. He can't give, he's asking other people to give him what he can't give to himself, essentially. Somebody made a good point in the comments. I don't know if that was exactly what they were saying, but can you imagine that the kind of man who, when he has children, will be upset that his wife puts the children first, right? He will be insecure towards the children.
Yeah. What do I do to be less insecure? I love this question, Benny. Are you able to come up into the chat and I can talk to you about it? If not, that's fine. I'm always happy to answer that question, but I would love to do it with you if you have the ability. Okay, so first of all of my books start with your mental health and emotional well-being, all of them. And that's why all of them start with meditation, because meditation is the expedited journey to increasing your self-esteem. It is the expedited journey to calming your mind and emotions. It's the expedited journey to gaining the ability to have functional conversations instead of dysfunction. So in order to increase your self-esteem, which gives you the ability to stand up for yourself and speak more clearly for yourself and have things happen to your benefit, you start with meditation, and it's 20 minutes a day. You go to my YouTube channel, you go to my Let's Meditate playlist, you find a 20-minute track, or you do a 10-minute track twice a day. It doesn't matter when you do it. It doesn't matter how much you break it up. Maybe you do 5 minutes and then 5 minutes and then 5 minutes and then 5 minutes every day. It doesn't matter as long as you get the minutes in. The important thing is getting in 140 minutes a week to change, to drop. So to change that amygdala, reduce the size of your fight or flight, stress, fear, and anxiety. When you reduce your reactivity, when you reduce your stress and anxiety, isn't that what you called insecurity, fear, and anxiety, stress, cortisol, adrenaline, those negative emotions? When you shrink the part of the brain that produces those emotions, you increase the part of your brain that produces introspection and compassion, how you think and feel about yourself. So not only are you reducing your stress and anxiety, you're increasing your introspection and compassion, so your self-esteem. So the easiest way to be less insecure is to start meditating today. The sooner you start meditating, the better.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to ask your body count actually, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's why I never counted, because it doesn't matter.
So is it over 100?
I don't know. I never counted.
Just having a
Oh,
Pokemon card
Are you having a
is it
meltdown?
between 50 and 100 or
Are you having a meltdown?
1,000, a million? Who knows?
why are you gaslighting me that
Are you having a meltdown because you couldn't control me?
because I asked you a question?
I answered the question. Do you have another one?
Well, you didn't actually.
I did. Why? Guys, let me use him.
I didn't do anything. Why do they expect you to have like Pokemon cards of PPs? I don't get it. It's like, also, you've been with your husband for over 7 years, so your body's reset.
Oh, my body count still went up after him and I committed, by the way. Because he wants to see them. I need the number. I'm PP obsessed, right? Ladies, did you see the PP obsession? When I say PP obsessed, that's what I mean. PP obsessed. You have to give me a number. If you don't give me a number, I have to come up with a number to think of on my own. That makes me feel weird because my culture says I'm not allowed to think of boys. But when you give me a number, I can now think of boys and I can blame you for making me think of boys. So I don't take accountability for my own thoughts and emotions. I always blame the woman for me thinking about boys, which is what I want to do, which is why I asked for body count. I didn't fail. I gave you the truthful answer. I have no idea.
Okay, so let's be honest right now. Do you have amnesia or like
No.
difficulty with remembering numbers or
No.
the
I'm
amount of
sorry, I'm
times you
sorry.
remember?
I will interrupt. I'm very sorry, but I want to interrupt because I see that you are the person that either counts or remembers everyone, and it is essential to you. But you are trying to project it on others, and you already been answered that it's not about that. It doesn't matter. We value long-term relationships. Either when we have short-term relationship, we value the connection, we value the people, and we might not remember them because the memory goes away, and it's normal. It's how brain works. And you are trying to impose your truth, but it doesn't work like that. People are different, and if you go through therapy, you will lose value of that body count. Do you understand what is brought to you?
No, I don't understand. This seems like a cope, but
Yes, I understand that, and that's why it's stated as a fact. It's not something that is debated because it's your opinion that you don't want to challenge. You want to challenge us. You don't want to be open-minded
well, I
towards
am
new
actually
information.
open-minded, so I'm willing to listen to your body count, but you're not willing to
Yes, you
even
are
give me an
already
estimate,
framing
right? I
everything.
can give you an estimate of
No,
those
I don't
numbers.
care. It doesn't matter to me. That's
Yeah,
why we
it does
talk
matter to
about
me.
that.
So,
We talk
it
about
does matter to
this.
me.
Yes, I
Okay,
understand that.
good.
And
So
that's
because
why I'm trying to explain to you that you have in a bracket some sort of number. You value that number, or you think that it matters. we explained that it doesn't matter. And
You
those
did.
you are saying like I have an open mind, and you
You
still
didn't.
frame your conversation in those brackets of numbers because you are still stuck in your argument. You are not opening your mind to the discussion that is actually giving some result that is useful to everyone in here. Do you understand that you are showing hostility and ways to manipulate us and conversation towards your argument that doesn't matter?
Okay, so that was definitely a monologue, right? You didn't say anything. You didn't say a lot. You just spewed what you think is the case. You even said that you muted me, right? It's very rude, people. We can't
Chantel, you're muted, Chantel.
hear your host, so you get a cake of your
I
own
said you're
medicine.
boring. I said you're boring. That's why. Ripple, what did you want to say?
Yeah, you're boring
I
by
was
not
just
sharing
gonna
the number.
say, shh, Roku, shush. I was just gonna say that it's you're saying you're so open-minded, but you ask a question, she gives an answer, you don't like the answer. You're not being open-minded about her answer. If you're so open-minded, just accept the answer and move on.
Well, I never said I didn't accept the answer, but
You did. You literally rejected her
okay,
answer.
I didn't, and I will expand
You
what
did.
I.
You're like, do you have
Can I
amnesia?
respond?
Oh no!
Can I
Now you don't
respond?
like when people talk over you? Oh my
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
How
So
ironic!
what
You
I
don't like when
said
people
is
talk
that
over you? We heard what you said. Don't repeat yourself.
yeah.
Say
So
something
what I
new.
said
Tell us
is
something we haven't heard. Tell us
yeah.
something we
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
tell you something which you
Tell
haven't.
us something.
Okay,
you're gonna
Tell
you
us
say
call
something we
yourself
don't know.
open-minded, but you don't
we don't
allow
have to
other people to
be.
speak. It seems like you're
Not to you.
self-centered.
We don't have to
You're
be
not
to
really
you, just like you
open-minded,
aren't to
right? You're
her.
pretending.
You're the only one who was talking about being
Sure.
open-minded.
So open-minded means everybody who aligns with my worldview, right? That is what open-mind means.
That is literally not what that means. I think he was just, maybe he was saying that to be sarcastic, but I guess he didn't like that your response didn't align with what he thought you should say. So anyway,
What
moving
exactly
along.
did I miss?
Both parties know.
Thank you, Dio, by the way. I appreciated that. Helicopter, what did you want to say?
Hi. Oh, thanks again for having me. You guys, like, I wanted that guy, I wanted to hear, like, I wanted to come up when he was up there. But yeah, like, it's so basically what I wanted to say with people like so is what do you get out of finding out that number? You're given a number, so what?
I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like
There's different mentalities behind body count matters, and it's one of four or all of four. So controlling, insecure, stuck in the past, PP obsessed. What this guy showed us was PP obsession. So we understand that there are some people that are in the closet because the culture, the home they come from, the people that raised them, their surrounding environment does not support homosexuality. And so you're born homosexual, so they do like boys, but they were taught they're not allowed to like boys. And so in order for them to feel okay thinking about boys, they have to involve a woman in the thought process. So when they ask a woman what her body count is and she gives a number, they think about those males. And you're the buffer, it's called a beard. So when you Google what's the definition of a beard and you look at it outside of the beard on a man's face, it's a male using a woman as a disguise because he's in the closet. So he's hiding behind a woman, he's hiding his obsession. But if he's busy pushing you aside to ask about peepees, ask about males, how many males to think about, it's because he's obsessed and he wants you to help him with his obsession.
Said, oh my God, very, very well said. I could not have ever said it better. And this is exactly like it's so annoying because you could see the culture behind it, right? And it's just like, give it up, for goodness sake. He didn't even bring any argument, any logic to that. It's just like, okay, it's my opinion, okay. But if it's a debate, then bring at least logic, for goodness sake.
Yeah, they have yet to.
It's okay. Anyway, I'll let someone.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
You're welcome, my love. Sam, what did you want to say?
I just think body count does matter in certain senses.
Yeah, but we didn't. Did you have any facts other than your own personal thoughts or feelings?
Mainly, I thought that it's a good basis.
But I said,
I
did you
wouldn't.
have any facts? If you're saying it's a basis for judging character, do you have any facts to back that up? Oh, I have
No,
3 facts. This person making the false accusation, 082. I have 3 facts. Sam, would you like to hear the 3 facts for why body count doesn't matter?
Yeah, you can go ahead, but I have a feeling we'll have a difference of opinion.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just using you for the person in the chat here right now. So, Sam, if I was looking for a long-term relationship and I was looking for somebody who had all of these qualities, can you read these words, Sam?
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to
can read
scroll.
them.
Okay, tell me if I go too fast, okay?
No, that's fine. Yeah, I can read them just fine.
All right. So I'm looking for somebody who has all of that, no less, because I won't settle. Is the way for me to find out if you are everything, all of these qualities, is the way for me to find this out if you are this person to spend time with you, observing your behaviors? Is that how I find out if you're this person?
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good way to go about finding that out.
That's a fact. Fact number 2, if you were looking for this person, let's just say for a long-term relationship,
Yeah.
in order for you to know if I was this person, would you need to spend time with me observing my behavior?
Yeah, I probably would.
That's fact number 2. Fact number 3, if I want to find out if you have an STI, do I need to ask you to go to the doctor and get tested and get screened and then show me the screening results, and that's how I'll know?
I guess that's different for different people. Some people
I don't know.
will be.
The word that I really want you to focus on is the word know. How will I know if you have an STI? Will I know by asking you what your body count is, or will I know by asking you to go to the doctor and get screened and then show me the results of your screening? How will I know?
Yeah, if you want to definitively know, then you would ask them to go to a doctor.
So those are the 3 facts that I choose instead of asking what their body count is. So I don't ask people what their body count is because I stick to facts and I stick to logic. So logically, if you are all of this, should I reject you?
No, you shouldn't.
No, that would be dumb and illogical. So why would I reject the right person because they had sex with other people before they met me? That'd be pretty dumb. And I wouldn't ask you what your body count is to find out if you have an STI. That's how I become a spreader, because I'll catch your STI because I was too dumb to ask for testing. So I don't reject the right person because they had sex before me. I don't think you're the right person because you had little sex before me. Because let's be honest here, Sam, you can have a low body count and be a shitty human being. Is that right, Sam?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So we don't ask what somebody's body count is as though it tells us anything important. I don't ask you what your body count is so I can reject you even though you're the right person. And I don't ask you what your body count is and then start kissing and having sex with you as though you having a low body count tells me you're the right person or a good person or a clean person. That's illogical. So when I say body count doesn't matter, it's because I stick to logic and I stick to facts.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think you can gauge a basis for lots of things off of body count.
Okay. So you're going to not stick to facts. You're going to make up a story, like a gauging in your head, a judgment, in other words, right?
Well, yeah, this is my opinion, so I'm
Exactly,
gonna say,
ladies. They're going to make up an opinion about you that isn't based on facts. That's why we should instantly block and delete them, right, Sam?
I think that, but I still think body count can tell you certain things. It's not to say that I don't think body count, if you ask somebody for body count, I don't think that should demean their character in any sort of way.
No, Sam. Should a woman waste her time on somebody who makes up a story in his head that doesn't actually apply to her? Should she keep talking to that person?
Well, no.
No, she shouldn't. So she should block and delete him because he made up a story in his head and she shouldn't waste her time with that, right?
That's only somebody who would judge you based on your body count, though.
Exactly. She should instantly block and delete the guy who asks what her body count is because that's what he's about to go do, whether it's high or low. Because if it's low, he's going to be like, ooh, really want access to her because he thinks some kind of way just based on her genitalia, but not based on her actual character and personality.
Yeah, but that's only if their body count actually is a factor for you, which you care about. If it's not a factor you care about in a relationship and you're asking out of curiosity, then I don't see any problem with that.
Oh, if they're asking out of curiosity after they've gotten to know who we are and it's not going to change their mind about who we are, that's no harm, no foul. But if they're asking because they're going to try to make up a story, in other words, they're asking in the beginning, they're asking early on, we just instantly block and delete at that moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you then. I don't agree with people who judge people based on their body count, but if you're asking out of curiosity and from a kind place, then I don't see any problem in asking questions like that, especially after you've built up a good relationship where all of those words you show me factor in. I don't see why it changes your opinion about somebody anyway, so
I agree. We're on the same page. I like that.
yeah.
May I also say something to you, Sam? I see some resemblance to your pattern recognition in humans like I had before, and it still develops, but it's something similar. It's we have different types of things that we take into account when we try to assume something about people. And when we do that, it might be everything different. And we just test those things. So we look through and we think that that thing might have told me about that person something specific. And then we test it and we see that it doesn't matter. This is the same with body count. Like if you will test it in the future, you will understand that it actually not a thing to make conclusions from.
Yeah, I can agree with that mostly. I do believe there's a few things which could help you deem a few things about that person from body count, but those are things which I don't think should be factored in whether you think somebody's good or bad for a relationship anyway.
What can it tell you about that person?
Previous sexual experience, if it's high, schmetzel. If it's high, then you know they're likely just going to have a lot more experience. Obviously, if it's low, they won't have as much experience. There's quite a few different things which you can learn about somebody. You can even learn about how social somebody might be, depending on their body count. But once again, these are kind of things which you have to guess through their body count. Their body count isn't a direct piece of proof that these things are true. You can have a high body count and still have very poor schmexual performance.
I was going to say, actually, I disagree with both the things that you just said. You can have a lot of experience with one person. You can have just as much sex with one person as you've had with 20 people.
Yeah,
you can have sex with 20 people one time and be with somebody for multiple years and have sex with them every day.
Yeah, that's mainly why I said that I wouldn't. It's obviously not a factor any intelligent person would well analyze when getting into a relationship with somebody, because those things don't matter.
Yeah, I do agree with what you said about the just because you have experience doesn't mean you're good at something. I say that all the time because people often assume that because someone might have a high body count, maybe they're better in bed, and that's no basis on that.
Yeah, that's not true at all. Well, thank you for teaching me, guys. I wanted to kind of see if you was on the same page as me, and we are, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. What did you want to say?
I believe body count does matter.
And did you have any facts, or are you just
Yeah.
your emotions?
No, nothing emotional here.
So you have science. So what's the
Yeah.
title of the peer-reviewed study?
All right. So can is a lock that can be opened by many keys worth it? Worth using?
So you're telling us that you're garbage because when I find a key in a drawer and I try it on the doors and it doesn't unlock any of the locks, I throw it in the garbage. So you're garbage without a woman?
No. So that means that a
No,
woman
but
with
you're
a high
calling
body
yourself
count
a
not worth
key.
it.
You're calling yourself a key, right?
Also, a high
No,
body
you
count
call
means you have
yourself-
STDs.
No, wait. Did you call yourself a key? Did you call yourself a key? Hello? I
Sorry,
can't hear
Chantel.
you.
I muted him. I couldn't hear
Okay.
you when he was talking over you.
Did you call yourself a key?
Have you heard what an analogy
Did you
is?
call yourself a key?
I'm asking you, have you heard what an
Call
analogy
yourself
is?
a key. Did you call yourself a key?
It
Yes or
sounds
no?
like it sounds like you're very emotional.
Call yourself a key. See? You see, you're very emotional. Is there a reason why you don't have a handle on your own feelings? Notice that was a boy hiding behind a girl name because he doesn't have the courage to be himself.
Confused, Chantel. Wasn't your question for him? Did he have scientific proof? And he said yes, and then he went into the lock and key analogy. Is that what just happened? Okay.
Yeah. But bingo, ladies.
I just wanted to clear that up because I couldn't hear a lot of what you're saying because he was talking. So, but if you're gonna come up here and say you have facts, just get right to it. Don't diverge off into other stuff.
So, ladies, notice how these little boys that say body count matters lack courage. They're so triggered. He's hiding behind a girl's photo, a girl's name, because he doesn't have the courage to be himself. He doesn't have any courage. He hides behind women. That's the little boy saying body count matters, by the way.
I also wanted to add to the conversation that talking with analogies about people's body, it's pure sophism that doesn't make sense because at the same time we can say that toothbrush that brushes one teeth is good, but that one that brushes several different mouths is bad. So it's same way works about every part of the body, so it doesn't make sense at all.
Emotional breakdown on the bingo card. I love that. Thank you, dear.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hello. What did you want to say?
First time I'm in English speaking live, so I'm French. Just
No, tu veux parler français?
Oh, you do speak French?
Tu veux parler en français?
Not necessarily. Does everyone speak French or English
I
or?
thought you were French. I thought this is the first time on an English speaking live because you're French.
Yes, I am, but
Tu veux parler
I'm
français?
wondering.
Tu veux parler
Ah, c'est
français?
vrai. Ok. Tu viens d'où, toi?
Oui, tu viens d'où? Moi, je suis née en Ontario, mais 11 ans à Québec, Montréal. Toi?
Ah,
Et
vous
toi?
êtes canadien ici?
Oui, et toi?
Ouais, moi je suis français, France.
France. Quel environnement? Ma mère, no, anyways, I can't tell you her last name, but yeah, okay. What's your question?
Okay, I don't really have a question, but why would body count matter actually for people? That's the sociological question.
It matters to people that are controlling. So instead of controlling themselves, they attempt to control other people. Instead of controlling their own thoughts and emotions, they try to control other people. So instead of controlling what they're going to think about, when they ask you how many people you did before you met them, as I did, I asked my husband what his body count was 18 years ago. He told me 2. What did I do for the next 10 years? Obsess over those 2 people. I didn't control my own thoughts. I let myself get stuck in the past and think those thoughts and put myself in a negative emotional state. And I kept going to my husband and saying, fix me and make me feel better. So instead of me controlling myself, I was attempting to control him to feel better. So body count matters to people that are not controlling themselves, but instead are attempting to control other people.
I see. So you were part of the people to which it mattered.
I was, yeah.
Oh, not anymore, right?
Pardon?
not anymore, right?
Not anymore, because now I'm more confident. And now, having stood on both sides of the equation, being the person who asked, what's your body count? And then witnessing in hindsight, because my husband said too, I'd never been with somebody who had such a low body count. 2 before me. And yet I still became insecure. And it showed me that the question was a sign of my insecurity. No number was low enough to not trigger my insecurity, because when you're insecure until you fix your insecurity. Now that I'm more confident and I've learned to be more confident and I do stand in that confidence, now today I wouldn't ask somebody what their body count is, because that doesn't matter. What matters more is the person standing in front of me today and their choices that they're making today. What kind of character do they have? What are the patterns that they have?
Exactly. So, well, I think you put the finger on something important. It's that the insecurity, it's a you problem, right?
Yes. Yes.
But my what I find interesting is how did you change?
Meditation. So
Yeah.
insecurity is stress and fear, right? Anxiety and fear. That's your fight or flight, the amygdala, stress, fear, and anxiety. When you meditate, you shrink that part of your brain. When you shrink the part of your brain, you reduce the length and severity of those emotions when they're triggered. So I gave myself the ability to have more control over my emotions by doing meditation outside of the moments where my brain was taking off on me, so that in those moments, I was easier to manage to myself. So it was easier for me to calm myself down, because outside of those moments, I was working on shrinking the part of my brain that made me not feel calm. In those moments, the exercises that I did was grounding myself in reality. So you got to talk to yourself. So I'd find myself spinning and I go, wait a second. And that was me going smack on my head. Wait a second. And then I'd say, what is reality? And then I'd start ticking off what the present is showing me. My present loyalty for my husband, the present trustworthiness, the present honesty, and not just the present, all the witnessed activity I've seen. So he did that with those women before me. But what is my experience with them? Consistent loyalty, consistent honesty, consistent trustworthiness, consistent patience, consistent impulse control. So by grounding myself in reality and who my husband actually is, I'm able to take myself out of my imagination and the emotions that I was giving myself.
I see. And I actually have two questions. How long did it take for you to feel confident with yourself? And second, was it ever a problem to your husband? Is it your husband, your boyfriend?
My husband.
Okay.
18 years now.
18 years. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Was it ever a problem for your husband, the body count?
My body count was never a problem for my husband, but my insecurity was causing a divide in our relationship. But my husband never cared about my past sexual history, not for 1 second, ever. Not once. He's that confident. And that's a guy I was like, okay, I can learn from this. So I was insecure for a long time in my life. I had an abusive mom. So I literally had to learn to stand up for myself. I had to learn to stop letting people abuse me. I had to learn to start speaking up for myself.
Sorry to hear that.
Even though it created a lot of physical symptoms of anxiety to do so. Like I remember in my 20s, finally starting to speak up for myself. And I remember what was happening the first few times: dry mouth, sweaty palms, knot in stomach, shaking body, pounding heart, like all of the major symptoms of social anxiety were hitting me extremely hard as I was learning to speak up for myself and find my voice and my assertiveness. And this is why I say to people, don't let your emotions dictate your behaviors. Courage is choosing the right behaviors despite how you feel.
All right. But I'm sorry, maybe I didn't hear it, but how long did it take you?
Lifelong. So
Lifelong. Okay.
honestly, lifelong. Like it was my 20s before I started standing up for myself. So for the past 30 years, I've been standing up for myself. Practice makes perfect. I'm very good at it now. I would say it took me the past 18 years to be confident enough to stand in someone's present with them instead of swimming in the past and in my thoughts.
I see. But actually, I find it rare for a woman to be to find it problematic, the body count issue, because usually it's this kind of alpha male stuff to be worried about women body count, right?
So I've seen that as well. I've seen a lot more males pushing the body count matters agenda. I've seen a lot more males doing that than women. And I've seen the women who do that are part of patriarchy. They're very fully enshrined in religious indoctrination. And they're saying what they were told, which is you have no value if other males touched you before your father can sell you off.
Oh, you think it's a religious thing?
It's so body count matters comes from religious indoctrination, and it is co-opted by red pill culture.
Oh yes, right. Because very often we also have copycats of these alpha male podcasts, red pill bullshit here in France. They have exactly the same speech, just in French.
Well, that's why we play bingo with their words. Like I literally, like Diane here.
Oh, you do have a bingo.
We play bingo with their words because we call them bops. They're so boring, oppressive, and PP obsessed. They say the same thing over and over again that if you want to, go make your bingo card. It's the first button in the link in my bio. You don't have to give any email. I'm not asking anything from you. I'm just saying if you want to have fun, play along.
Well, if it was a drinking game, we'd be shit-faced all the time. So, but
Well, I mean, we can make it a drinking game.
wow,
Defend the rules.
that's very unusual for a woman to admit that body count matters. So.
Right.
Yeah, we usually hear it in those red pill podcasts, right?
It's basically patriarchy.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's spoken by patriarchal cultures, whatever they are, whether it's religion or red pill, and it's spoken by women indoctrinated into patriarchy.
Yeah. But that being said, do they actually explain why it matters?
So they lie and fearmonger. They say because science says and studies say because we're rejecting their religion. And so they're trying to convince us that it's a scientific fact. And so what we do when they say that is I say, okay, then provide the source, the name of the peer-reviewed study, the website is on page number and paragraph number. And what happens is because we send them off to go get exactly where what they're saying exists on the internet, they're not coming back because it doesn't exist on the internet because they're making it up.
Oh, well, yeah, it's easy to base an argumentation to speak something based on nothing. So, yeah, if you have to find sources that don't exist, of course, it's going to be complicated to establish a good dialogue.
So, because they're trying to change the goalpost. So first they were saying it matters because you want us. Now, what we're seeing scientifically stated, we're seeing the articles, right? Demographic of male loneliness, right? The male loneliness epidemic. And we're also seeing that the highest demographic of home buyers is single women. And we're seeing studies that say the happiest demographic is single women without kids. So they can't convince us that body count matters because we want them, because studies are showing we're not even picking them anymore. So now what they're trying to do is change the goalposts. Oh, it's not because you want me, so you have to have a low body count to get me. Oh, you don't want me? Well, then let me tell you body count matters because science says so. And I go, okay, show me where science says so. And they go, and they never can. They can never bring it. I've been doing this prompt for at least a month, every single day that I go live. And they go, science says, and I go, I'm going to stop you right there. Go get the name of the peer review study website. It's on page number, paragraph number, and they can't.
Yeah, of course they can't. But don't you find it curious that the people holding this kind of opinions are the most incel people in the world?
So it's just that they're the easiest to manipulate. Religion looks for people who don't seek actual information, but instead want to just, hear it and then regurgitate it without using their brain. And so when some politician says, I love the poorly educated, is because he knows they're easy to manipulate because they won't use their brain.
Is there any red pill people here live on the panel?
That's a good question. Any person here who subscribes to Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels or any of those podcasters? What is it?
Or I mean, the ones that are live right now and on the panel. I mean, Ripple or Dio or Des or I don't know.
Can
I
say
have no
that
idea
I'm
who
not.
any of them are.
I would marry
Actually,
Andrew Tate today. I'm so obsessed with Red Pill.
I feel irony.
Your feeling is correct. No, I don't. No one on here
Okay.
is Red Pill.
I also want to add that algorithms think that it's not my thing, and I mostly never have heard about it if other bloggers would not talk about it.
Okay, so you're not English either. Are you German or something?
Oh, I'm Eastern Europe. It's Ukraine.
Ukraine. Okay.
Yes.
I know this is a difficult question, but how are you?
I'm fine. It's like peoples are very adjustable human beings. I have tons of air raid alerts. It's rockets, drone flying, but I just accept it, and my philosophy is such that I better to be unalive immediately than I will suffer, and other things I don't care.
Okay, well, good luck to you, I guess, and yeah, so sorry about the whole situation there.
Oh, no worries, it's not your fault. And I also wanted to add philosophical stuff about what you were discussing, and you were asking the question why they say that body count matters. And I wanted to mention the women and why there are so rarely situations when women say that. From my perspective, as I observed, I think it's not only perspective, and there are possibly several different reasons, but I also seen that these are the women that accepted the order stated by the patriarchy because seemed to them more useful rather than oppressive. And others women, they are more free and they quickly fight that idea because that idea is built specifically for men, and whole religion, when it talks to people, is built around men. So women, when they observe the information and collect the information, they intuitively understand that it doesn't serve them any purpose, and it almost framed as if God doesn't care about women at all. And at the same moment when they realize it and intuitively have that conclusion, they are disgusted by the idea at all. And so there are low level of women that talk about that body count doesn't matter, and those that talk about it, that these are the people that embraced the order due to they think that it's that oppression is useful to them.
All right. No, I'm sorry, I didn't get everything, but I think I get the main points.
But you can ask, I will try to say it either slowly or with being more articulate, because it's hard to talk not in my language.
Yeah, actually, I think the main thing is what's actually written on your image here. Chantal. Oh, Chantal, you know your name? Okay. On the image, it's kind of a manipulation. Men wanting to control the body of women. It's the exact same people that will be against the right for abortion or stuff like this. It's the kind of very conservative people that think women should listen to what their opinion is, and yeah, it's basically a very controlling and patriarchal way of seeing women in general. You know, the fact that women should preserve themselves for them and should listen to what they have to say for what they want to do with their body. Especially, you know, we have the same subject here in France for the right to abort. And actually right now the far right in France is really getting more and more radical
Right.
in their ideas. You know, we are 60 million in France, more maybe 65 million, and there are 11 million who voted for a far right party. So, you know, the far right has won a lot of heart in France, unfortunately, and the far right is the kind of people who will have this kind of ideas. You know.
I also wanted to ask about that. I thought I read somewhere that the right for the abortion was inscripted, like written in to the constitution of the France. Is it true? And can it be reversed if it's so?
Well, for example, the far right voted against the right to abort in the constitution.
I mean, is it already in the constitution? And if it's in the constitution, can it be expelled from that?
That's actually a good question, and I'm not sure. So I'm not.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
fine.
the kind
I'm
of guy
just curious.
who. Yeah, but I don't want to tell you bullshit if I don't know. Actually, I'm not this kind of guy. So.
Yes, thank you for your honesty.
And if I don't know, I will say I don't know. But let me check right now.
I think these people who say they lower the body count, what does this person say? Something about like the lower the body count, the more your value is. I think you're trying to reverse engineer your lack of opportunities and how people don't want to be with you. And so you tell yourself that makes you more valuable.
I'm sorry, I was looking on the internet. Can you repeat the question?
Just asking, is it in the constitution of France? And someone in the chat already says that yes, it is. And the other question was, can it be expelled through some process from the constitution, that right to abortion?
Right, can we reverse it like they did Roe v. Wade?
Let me check. Okay, because I don't have a clear answer here. Maybe.
Ukraine, like if something is inscribed into the constitution, you have to like have so many steps to change it that mostly we not ever changing the constitution in any cases. It's super difficult, it takes too much work and no one does it. So that's why I'm curious about how it's in France, because it's everything different for every country. Like in USA, it's much easier to change something, while in Ukraine it's up to the highest courts and constitutional court, and it needs to go super long way. So that's why I'm curious, because if those
I have the answer actually. It's not. It's not in the constitution for now.
That's sad.
In France, it's not.
That's sad, but thank you for the information.
But it's still protected by law, but it's not in the constitution.
Hey, Firebird, did you have something to add to this conversation, or were you wanting to talk about something else?
No. If you could just get me up to date, it's quite fascinating. It's something about the not in constitution. What's the content, please? Because I've come in midway.
We are talking about the right to abortion in France,
Right,
And
right.
I've read somewhere that it is included in the constitution, but law, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce correctly, said that it's actually not included in a constitution, but it is still protected by law.
Okay, right, gotcha. I think
But
without going,
oh, sorry, I was going to add just something before you talk. But there are debates right now, and there are amendments to make this in the constitution. But in France, the far right votes against.
interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, you can
No,
go.
no,
Sorry.
no. Thank you for that information. I know it's been politicized. I know it's been weaponized. I'm always trying to be conscientious of this. I am for the woman. It's her body autonomy. I'm not saying that certain people can't have a say, but in the end, the final choice has to be the woman's. I understand it can be one of morality and concern, but end of the day, if the woman feels that she cannot carry that pregnancy for whatever reasons, then that's how it's going to be, because the other argument is, how can you force someone to carry a baby?
I think I'm all for the people, especially in this situation, women having the right to make that decision for themselves, right? I'm okay with people being against abortion, but it's not okay to then take what you believe and enforce that on other people and tell them, well, I believe it's not okay, so now you shouldn't believe that it's okay. It's fine if people don't think that that's okay. Then then don't have abortions. That's fine. But as anything, when it comes to a belief, it's not okay to impose that on other people and try to make them also believe that as well.
Yeah, but in that case, don't you think it shouldn't be something to be debated? Because
Yeah, 100%.
because it's one thing to be against abortion on the individual level, but here we're talking about the legislation and the right for everybody to abort if they want to. And for example, in France, and the debate about entering the right to abort in the constitution is actually to protect the right to abort for everyone who wants to. That's the issue.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you. I don't think it should be up for debate because it's based on people's individual decisions of what they want to do with their body. I don't think anyone should be telling anyone what they can and cannot do with their body.
Friend is pro-life for herself, but would support me if I needed it for any reason, or chose to for any reason.
Yes, my love. Sorry. I would like to hopefully maybe come back to choosing the right person for a long-term relationship, being the right person for a long-term relationship. Let's come back to the topic.
Can I only add, like, your first step that you always talk about is meditation, and I want to add to that because I will need to go in a little bit. And I just wanted to say that when we are yesterday talking about it, you were talking about silence in the mind. And I'm that person that autistic and ADHD, and some people with ADHD and autism have such stuff that is called like levels of cognitive analysis. So basically, when I'm thinking at the same time about two things, three things, and I'm having very fast mind, and it was very hard way for me to reach meditation. And Zeus, I wanted to talk for others to know that there are not only the meditation of silence and passivity, there is an active meditation when you are walking and you can breathe and count your breaths. So basically you are doing several cognitive functionings at the same time, but they are not tied to the emotions in any way. your mind is very quick and you will still try to get back to thinking about some thoughts that tie to your emotions that you felt, but you just need to come back to that stable, active, meditative state, and that will calm down your nervous system, and then you can move to that meditation of silence when you can be completely silent with yourself. I think it's might be very useful to some who has such uniquenesses as I do.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. That's actually, that's something that I've brought up several times in this live and my live as well, talking about meditation. And we are learning a lot more, especially about people who have autism to severe degrees. There's a lot of studying going on right now, and so I think that's something. The meditation aspect of things should be studied more for sure, because I've noticed that myself, that when I'm active is when I'm actually better able to enter a meditative state.
Guys, I want to do a book walkthrough, and I want to bring my hubby his lunch and then come back to the conversation. Eric, are you able to stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm able to stay around. I'm not. Sorry, I'm just not actually sure what we're talking about at the moment.
You have a conundrum. I can help you with that. You got to give me a minute though, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, Lovelies, I want to let you know that you can get any of my 11 books or 3 workbooks in paperback on Amazon. I have ebook bundle deals, audiobooks as well. My 2 audiobooks are No More Assholes and Fix That Shit. They're not on Audible. You do need to get them through the link in my bio on my website. Comeback Queen helps you heal faster from a breakup or divorce. No more staying stuck in the pain. We're going to speed up the healing process. No More Assholes is your selection process. No more mistakes. Now we do observation before selection instead of falling for the biggest scam in dating, which is selection before observation. So now we make an informed decision. We find out who they are. If they didn't want to stick around long enough for us to find out who they are, it's a good thing we didn't kiss them, right? Thank you, my love. No More Assholes is also in Spanish, also an audiobook. After the first kiss, when you start a new relationship, you're going to make it solid in the first year instead of sabotaging it because it was better than anything you ever had before, and that was hella uncomfortable. We're going to enhance our communication and conflict resolution with your Fix That Shit books. We have Fix That Shit for women and Fix That Shit for men. This is how I got to 0 fights with my husband. Speaking of men, the dating book for men is the perfect play. This is going to help them heal from past breakups as like the right long-term partner going forward. Dating book for teens is Dating 101. Mom and Dad, get this for the teens. This is the education that we should have received in high school. So let's give them that education and watch them flourish and avoid mistakes and pitfalls. I've asked questions. You don't answer. Watch this. Block and delete. Block, delete, because it bugs me when people do that. Fake love need not apply. How to avoid posers, losers, scammers, and predators. This is a free book in the link in my bio. Say Yes to Goodness, 10 Steps for a Complete and Happy You. Evolving your happiness in 10 areas of your life that are affecting you mentally and emotionally. Custom Made is career coaching. Ali Jane. Career coaching, you're going to monetize your purpose, passion, and talent. Glow Up Journal, this is a focused journey on increasing your confidence, self-worth, and self-esteem by using scientifically backed methodologies. So this is a 2-month journey of you doing exercises and doing some writing that's going to really help you change, because we're going straight to the source right here, your brain. I also have 3 big, beautiful workbooks. You can get these paperbacks on Amazon. Thank you, Krista. We have the No More Assholes workbook. By the way, these have bonus material. And the Fix That Shit for Men workbook. My Glow Up Journal comes in today. Yes. Love this. And Fix That Shit for Women. I've been working on my Glow Up Journal. You gave me love, love, love. Yes. I had some ladies come for a retreat. I gave them a copy, Krista, Ali Jane, of the Glow Up Journal. Thank you. And morning, Emily. All right, lovelies. Des, Ripple, can I leave this in your hands for the time being?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. You are in charge. I have it right next to me.
Oh, Eric, did you have a question or did you want to say
I just
something?
know exactly when it said periods. It's a manipulation and control tactic. I was just wanted to have a question on that, just to say how many people actually agreed with that.
So you want to know how many people agree that body count doesn't matter? Is that what you're asking?
No, the little box that says period. It's a manipulation and control tactic.
So you want to know how many people think that body count mattering is a manipulation and control tactic?
Yeah.
Did you want to conduct a poll? Like, I don't understand. Did you want people in the chat to raise their hands?
No. I just wanted to know, like, so out of all the people like within the boxes, so I just have an understanding on people who some people believe that body count doesn't matter or they think it does matter, just so I know.
Well, currently on the panel, everyone has stated that they don't think that it matters.
All right, okay. No, I don't think it matters. That's what I just wanted to see.
Okay, cool. Thanks for coming up.
And everybody, don't you think those red pill, those so-called red pill people who think body count matters, don't you think they will just jump on the first woman that accept them? Because
Other times we
in
hear them
general,
come on the panel often and say that they have an issue with the 3-month dating rule, but they also don't want somebody with a high body count.
yeah, but I mean, it's insecure people, right? So, though I actually know some of these people in France. You know, I have let's say Instagram acquaintances that they share and like and comment, post, alpha male red pill posts, and I know what they're like in real life, and the truth is they will just be with anybody that wants them. That's the reality of their lives that I know, actually.
For sure, yeah, we see it often on this live. Becky, did you have a question or something to say?
Well, I was just kind of trying to join in on the conversation. It was mostly like, obviously for myself, I've got, I guess, differing like views. Like, how would you describe that in like the? Basically, I have like two different viewpoints of whether or not body count should or shouldn't matter, and it would be based mostly on like, I suppose from the outside perspective, when it comes to manipulation, it being manipulation and control tactic from, I would say majority, maybe men. I'm not sure how much body count necessarily matters in kind of heterosexual relationships when viewing from the woman's perspective. Not really sure. But in terms of the aspect of value, I don't believe in any way that the number of sexual partners that you have would determine your value. However, I do believe for the purposes of, I guess, protecting oneself and like protecting one's mental health, for example, there's a lot of potential side effects from sleeping with, having multiple sexual partners, partially because of maybe the stigmas with society, but then also because of the emotions that sexual activity might evoke within oneself. Yeah.
And what emotions would sexual activity invoke within oneself?
Well, it depends. So people have sex for multiple different reasons. Some people can view sex as just kind of like a sport, like an activity. Some people deem it as something that's more, intimate for intimate settings for, you know, it can just be for pleasure. It can also be for developing deeper, intimate connections. Now, when some people, for example, when you think of people who might have, and I suppose this conversation might be centered more around women's body count. Is that, am I correct in saying that? Or is it just body count in general?
Everything said here goes both ways. It
goes both ways.
It doesn't matter for men or women.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, I would agree, but again, it's then again to a certain extent because of, from my point of view, from mostly mental health reasons, and like because I think if you're having sex, again, people have sex for different reasons. If you are having sex because this is for the purposes of building a connection with somebody, and then you realize after the fact that, okay, this person just wanted to have sex with me. You were trying to build a connection, whereas this person just wanted sex. Then the fallout of that is obviously negative emotions. You're not going to feel the greatest
But the negative emotions is not because you had consensual sex with somebody. The negative emotions is because you did not take the time to actually get to know that person, and instead you slept with them, and you were disappointed that they didn't want to be with you. So it doesn't have anything to do with the consensual sex you had. It has to do with the disappointment that person doesn't want to be with you.
No. So again, I don't even have the experience to go off by myself, if I'm being honest. But what I'm saying is not that. I'm not saying that the negative thought, like, again, you can enter into a consensual sexual agreement with someone. You can have consensual sex with somebody, and after the fact, it still have a negative effect on you emotionally. And it is as a result of the sex, not just like if you didn't have the sex, you might not care as
But
much.
the example you just gave had nothing to do with the sex and everything to do with the fact that that person didn't want to be with the person, the other person. So
it's not just
you're saying that it has everything to do with the sex, but you're not giving an example that says that it does.
Because I didn't even specify it was within the confines of a relationship. So I'm not necessarily.
I didn't say that you did. The example let's break this back down. Let's rewind it and play it back. The example that you gave, let me say this. The example that you gave was that two people had sex together. One person was using it as a way to have an emotional connection, build that connection with that person, wanted to be with that person. And then the
I
other
didn't say
person
wanted to be with that person. I specifically said for the purposes of developing an emotional connection. That's what I said.
So let's scratch. My bad. Let's scratch that part where I said they want to be with it. They don't want to be with the other person. They just want to build an emotional connection with somebody through sex for whatever reason. Doesn't have to lead to a relationship. So they initiate in sex, and then what? And then the other person, where did the disappointment come from?
Okay, so again, that's what the reason that it's opposing or different views that I'm talking about is because people have sex for different reasons. It's not the same.
Okay, but you're not answering my question. Okay, my question is, let's stick to this one scenario that you gave.
Okay.
The one scenario that you gave, one person is disappointed afterwards because of why? The person who wanted that emotion to build on that emotional connection with the other one, why are they emotionally damaged afterwards?
Because if they viewed the sex, yes,
more.
If they view the sex as a like, I guess I'm mostly looking at from the viewpoint of.
Can we let her answer, please?
I think it's for someone's backfeed, mostly. Yeah, but sorry. Question.
I'm sorry. The question was, in the specific scenario that you gave, two people engaged in sex together. One person was using that as a way to build a connection with the other person. The other person was just doing it for pleasure. You're saying that the person you're saying that the person who was doing it for an emotional connection was somehow emotionally damaged afterwards, and I want to know how and why.
It would be based solely off of the idea that maybe there was deception within that within the communication before, and it just depends because there's
what was the deception? What was the deception?
As in the reason, like the purpose for the sex. So some people might decide, I do not wish to engage in sexual activity because I'm reserving this for somebody who I'm interested in having a deeper emotional connection with, because they don't view sex as maybe just an activity, just a pleasurable sport. Yes, sex is pleasurable.
Okay.
So why?
Can I just interject this?
Yes.
What Becky Babe is describing is our current dating environment where women are having sex first, second, third, fourth date because they think that's how you start a relationship. And the males are having sex because they're thinking, wow, let me take advantage of her bartering her body to try to get me to like her.
Yes, and yes, I suppose that's it's if again it depends on the way that you view sex. So if somebody is not, it's not even necessarily based off the fact that you are bartering sex for the purposes of
We're taught to do that. We're literally taught to do that. And when I teach women a no kissing for 3 months dating rule, women are like, but wait a second, I'm going to lose every opportunity if I don't kiss them soon enough. If I don't kiss them before I know they like me, I'll lose every opportunity because everybody's going to walk away because my brainwashing, my indoctrination into this patriarchal culture says I have to barter my body for their attention. And when Chantal Heidi comes along and says, no, use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule to get rid of the ones who don't like you, they're like, oh, I didn't know that I could actually do that.
Yeah. So that would be like, from my own, perspective, that would be more kind of what I was speaking about, as opposed to thinking that your value is tied to the number of sexual partners you've had. I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that people can, for their own sake, be more cautious. Like, for example, this 3 month rule, perfect. I've heard in studies, I can't pull them out, but I've heard in studies that have been conducted that for men, the way that they develop emotional connections is a little bit different from the way that women might develop emotional connection. And in fact, that, sexual activity quite early on can actually, hinder the process of how they develop the emotions,
Let me put it differently.
Yeah. Okay.
So guys are selfish short-term thinkers. Men are generous long-term thinkers. Guys are lazy and want what they don't deserve. They feel entitled to it. Men love earning what they have because they feel accomplished that way.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. For sure.
Yeah. Men have work ethic.
Oh yeah, so I suppose that's kind of my viewpoint on this the matter. Yeah.
But don't you think anyway those deceptions and disappointments and when you're dating and what you expect from the other person can be just fixed by communicating well enough to know the other people's expectations?
Absolutely. I think that again, from my own perspective, when it comes to, I personally actually don't even date men. This is a conversation. I'm not even Becky. This is Becky's account. I'm just here with her.
Hi, I'm Becky. My friend's just talking on my behalf.
Yeah. So
I see.
Yeah.
When it comes to dating, for me, I'm a lesbian. So for me, my viewpoints are very, I suppose, even more different. But when I suppose was in the dating world with men, I never had sex with a man because I was just never comfortable. Oh, I suppose because I'm a lesbian, but yeah, I was never comfortable enough to, engage in that. I think for the beginning part of my life, that was religious. It was like, oh, I'm not going to have, but I think eventually, really and truly, it was just because every time I pictured the idea of it, it was like a violation to my body. I was like, that can never happen to me. So sorry. So yeah, that's how I actually.
I actually have a question for you, friend of Becky.
Okay, no problem. I'm here. Oh, and my name is Jolene, by the way. Sorry, guys.
Oh, Jolene. Okay, nice to meet you, Jolene. If as a lesbian, does body count did matter in the dating pool?
No.
For women to women?
No, again, it would still no. Actually, no. It doesn't really come. Again, it doesn't really come up in conversation too much in our world. I don't think. People don't. I think. Yeah. In fact, not really at all. Actually.
If you do tell a lesbian as a lesbian, you gotta come. You wouldn't care.
Yeah. So actually now it speaks more to the fact that it's just a patriarchal issue, like because we don't think from one to one another. Oh, I don't even ask. Oh, and even if it's asked, if you ask, it's kind of more like a curiosity. Oh, who you been with? Like it's like it's not.
Their value
you're
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing within our community.
Is your friend Becky single and dating?
She's single and dating. Yeah.
Okay. Did at any point body count came into the conversation in while dating a guy for the first time, for example?
Is this for me? Yeah. For Becky?
Yes, yes, for Becky.
Oh, sorry. Hi. What's the question?
Has it ever come into your dating life, like the question of body count?
Does body count matter?
Yeah.
Have you been asked in the first date, for example?
I have been asked what's my body count. And yeah, I don't really think I used to think body count matters like a long time ago, until I started watching Chantel's lives. Then that just changed my whole perspective. But I think I was kind of going off what people used to say, like, oh, body count matters. If you get with a guy, he's not going to value you anymore. All that different kind of stuff, you know? But yeah.
Did you think it mattered for you or for the other person?
Both, actually. Both. Yeah.
Oh.
Both.
So you did care about your potential body count, partner's body count, sorry.
I did, yeah. I did, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
Me? I'm Becky, yeah. I'm 23.
20. Oh, yeah, you're young. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I'll pass the phone back to Jolene. I'm not really good with live stuff. She's using my phone.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
But yeah, no, she asked me, she's the one who, she was like, oh, she kind of gave me a little brief summary of like, oh, this woman, this is what she speaks about, this is it. She was like, we can actually request to join. I was like, okay, cool, I'll speak if we get pulled up. And then yeah, the opportunity came, so glad to speak with you guys. It's a nice conversation anyway.
Okay, nice speaking to you.
May I ask also a question?
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Jolene, it's to you because you're a lesbian, and I was once talking to the client and she was lesbian, and I explained to her that in lesbian relationships the prime view of the partner is subjectified, so the most concentrating thoughts and everything is around the person, and around sensations, like going slowly into the love and slowly like binding together, like I don't know, flower binds another flower. And while men are more drawn to objectification, and they perceive others sort of a prize, sort of thing that they can brag about. Would you say that I'm correct in those thoughts that I told her?
Yes, to a certain extent. Like for within all the lesbian relationships that I've been a part of, again, for me going into it, the main focus is about how we make each other feel, as opposed to thinking of them. Again, to a certain extent, yes, you want an attractive partner, because and also we have to think about within the lesbian community, it's like the same way that you guys might have gender roles and kind of like things, that also seeps just by default within our community, into our community as well. So because we've got masculine presenting lesbians, feminine presenting lesbians that fall with stems, that fall kind of within the middle, like the middle frame, kind of, and then sometimes based on the way that you present, you're expected to take on a certain level. But that's again stuff that's just bleeding into our society, into our community, from the structure of the wider patriarchal kind of society and world. So a lot of masculine presenting females will feel still that they have to, take on certain roles of a man, or, take on, and even the traits that they might display might be the toxic traits of a man, because depending on their view of masculinity and what that is. Because my view personally on like femininity and masculinity is that it neither is kind of tied specifically to one gender. I do believe that, yes, females might take on more, feminine traits as deemed by society, and males might take on more masculine traits as deemed by society. But there's a crossover between all of it. You might see a woman that has traits that are deemed more masculine, but she's a woman, and she might not even be a lesbian. That's just the way she is. So, but because people attach those traits to specific, genders, it makes it a little bit of a gray area. But to answer, I guess, the question, more specifically, it's not as commonplace for the reason that you are within that relationship to be for like the purposes of showing off. This is my mate, and this my mate is better. Well, there's definitely still that. You have a lot of pride within who your partner is, but it's not necessarily based on the reasons that everybody else might have. It might just be, this is how this person makes me feel this way, and we have a good partnership. We work together really, really well. So what everybody else thinks might not matter as much.
So
Yeah.
you're saying it's more about a healthy pride rather than toxic pride.
Yes, yes. But then again, we have people that we would have outliers within that, because you will have relationships within the lesbian community that very accurately or very similarly imitate a heterosexual or a relationship or seem quite heteronormative. That usually will be the case when one partner takes on the role of the masculine or the male, and then one partner takes on, which is why even when a lot of like straight people will ask, and they will just be like, oh, like who's the man and who's the woman in the relationship? It's like, no, we're actually both women. Like, but then they have that expectation of there being a masculine role and a feminine role, and then just by default, some people actually will like assimilate that, will take that on, and then try to fit, and then it causes problems sometimes, because one person is like, I think I'm dating a woman, but this woman actually just wants to be a man, or just not necessarily wants to be a man, but wants to treat me as if I am just, they are a man and I am a woman, or I am or on the flip side, for more masculine presenting women, it might be, oh, this woman actually expects me to be a man. She wants me to open the door for her, but she might not be willing to do the same for me, or she wants me to do this and it's not there. And that can have its own set of problems.
Yes, but also, have you ever met masculine presenting women or men like role play or something like that, lesbian who cared about body count, or doesn't exist, or
Yes.
you haven't met it?
I have, and again, actually, the only people who I've ever encountered that did care about body count were the more masculine actually only masculine presenting. Okay, within the community, you have within the mask side. So we have like mask. They might call you hyper mask. You might be called a soft mask, or a baby mask. Like, so your masculine is presenting, and then you have varying degrees. Yeah, then you have like
Can I
varying.
say something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep trying to say something.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think that what you're touching on is important, talking about how lesbian relationships tend to be less of a social status and more of just a partnership where you want equality with your partner, and that the patriarchy and the way that society has been indoctrinated to believe in traditional gender roles has absolutely seeped into not just lesbian relationships, but we see it a lot. And breaking those gender roles is a way to break free of the patriarchy and stop that indoctrination from perpetuating to future generations and within our own communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
I also asking because while I was observing the male presenting lesbians in Ukraine, there were some sorts of positions where they care about body count, but actually it was more about role play. It didn't actually matter. It was only about having that gender norm to play the role of lesbian that is presented more masculine to fulfill each other's desire, but it would not impact anything. Like, if she is her partner of the male presenting lesbian, she would have high body count. They will turn it to a little bit like BDSM sorts of action, or they will turn it into, oh, now you are innocent for me.
Yeah.
So it's more like a playful style. It's not toxic like for men. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I understand completely what you mean. Even within sexual experiences, there are certain roles that you might take on that reference body count, but in terms of like kind of like either hypersexuality or like hyposexuality, where like, okay, either the innocence is being kind of like used as a kind of a tool within the sex, or the opposite, so the hypersexuality, like, or promiscuity is, used as like a tool within the sex, but mostly for the purposes of pleasure. I do get what you mean. Yeah.
Awesome. But still, were there any occurrences where you've met someone to whom it mattered like it mattered to men, or it was mainly like a role play, sexual, or such stuff? Because it's really different. And from my perspective, what I've observed, if for lesbians, it's more like a tool for their own pleasure and pleasure together with one another. And for men, it's a tool for pride and a psychological instrument.
Okay. Now, even I guess one of the dynamics that would maybe speak more to this within kind of the gay community would probably be how lesbians view bisexual women. So when it comes to bisexual women and their interactions with men, the conversation might change a little bit. It might change a little bit, which it's not, again, from my own perspective, not something that I personally care about, but within the lesbian community, there's often stigmas placed on bisexual women for the activities that they might have with men. But I think, again, that's a byproduct of the patriarchy and how men view sex with men, or other people view sex with men specifically. Because, yeah, within the community, a very big topic of conversation is how a lot of so we have studs, which are, okay, that's more for Black, but masculine presenting women who deal with, they might prefer sometimes to even deal with a straight woman as opposed to a bisexual woman. And I feel like their reasonings behind that is that, okay, well, she might leave me for a man, or she might do this with a man, or, so there's that. The topic of body count actually very rarely will matter in terms of women dealing with women, other women, as much as women dealing with men. Yeah, it's always, the issue is always with men. Yeah, that's a conversation that happens where that's a very big topic of conversation.
Yeah,
within the
men
community.
just see it as a thing where if a woman has a high body count, she loses her value.
And that's as a result. And not all men will have that opinion originally, but it would come as a result of the way the society is structured surrounding that, I think.
Yeah.
Have any of you heard of the Korean feminist movement, the 4B?
I have. Yeah. I think I've heard of it, where they're just,
Does it take here in, well, I guess, I don't know if you're all Canadian.
Oh,
but we speak about it in France.
Okay.
It's there are live TikToks speaking about this. Don't marry men, don't date men, don't have sexual relation with men, don't have children with men. So I think actually, Jolene, congratulations, you're part of this movement, even though you didn't really choose to. But but it comes from a very, very, very patriarchal country, Korea.
Yeah.
In which women are very, very much objectified.
Yeah.
And I am under the impression that it took over the world.
Yes, I think people are coming to the realization that they have more control over kind of the narrative because sex is sometimes used as a currency as well, isn't it? It's sometimes used as a currency for men. The more that they can get sex, the more that they are valued. And somehow, on the flip side, the more a woman has had sex, the less she's supposed to be valued, apparently, according to them. So it's such a weird, or is it? Would you call that a double-edged sword? I don't know what you call that, but it's a weird. Not necessarily, not that. Well, I suppose it's not even fall into 4B.
Yeah,
but
I don't know why people was.
I'm not sure. No, not specifically 4B. I'm not even sure what I was referring to just there. Sorry, guys. I have ADHD, so sometimes my trains of thought will leave the station.
Yeah, because you were even going off topic for a long while.
Sorry about that. What about? Wow. No, because sometimes the things that
You do have ADHD?
Yeah, I have ADHD. So the things that I'm saying, I've got like streams of thought going in my head. So sometimes I might start a sentence in the middle of a sentence thinking I've said the start of it, but I've actually just said and it doesn't make sense to anyone else but me. But yeah.
Becky, you get a lot of background guys. Sorry, if we could
Oh,
just
no, that's okay.
mind the
Oh, I
background
just
noise. Thank you. I have AirPods in. It's a lot.
Define, what did you want to say?
Definitely. Thank you. I'm 19, and I just wanted to say that I do not agree with you. I think that body count does matter because when you're a virgin and you marry, it's like you're like being loyal to your partner. Like if you
Oh,
give
so
your
you have to be loyal
virginity
to
to your
somebody
partner
you've
after
never
marriage,
met
it's like
because
you're
your
loyal
body
to them.
doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the male that owns you. Is that right?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, I said you have to be loyal to the person you haven't met because your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the male that owns you, right?
That owns you? He does not own you. It's like
No, he owns
the
your
same
body.
way.
You have to be loyal to him. You haven't met him yet, but you better be loyal because he owns you. He owns your body. He owns your sexuality, right?
Okay, let's not say own, but it's like
No, but you're not
he's the
allowed to do what you
one
want.
to ever do
Your,
it.
your body isn't yours. It belongs to the male that you're going to marry because he owns you.
Okay, you're just
Your
trying to make this
value.
like very
Let's use the word you're using. Your value. When I bought this phone, it had a certain value when I bought it, right? Now that I have this phone for several years, it has less value now, right? That's the word. The monetary value when you buy something. Your body is bought and sold. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to males.
Okay, let's not say that it belongs to them now. When you're a virgin and you marry a man and then you give your virginity to him, sorry.
You gave, right? If I want to give you something because you're a thing, you're not a person, you're a thing for males to own. You gave
No,
your
but
thing. You're a thing, my love. Just say it. Just say, I'm a thing, I'm owned by males. Just say it.
No, because you're like trying to make this like very complicated. It's not like I'm
your
owned by
words.
anyone.
Your
Me giving my
words,
virginity to
your
a man when I'm
value,
married to him.
listen, I'm using your words, your value because you're bought and sold, gave because you're a thing. I use your words. Just own it. Stop denying your truth. I'm a thing owned by males. It's in your verbiage. It's in the words you are using. It's not that hard. Just own it. Be proud of it, but stop deflecting away from it as though it's not your truth.
So Chantel's not trying to make this complicated. She's trying to get you to critically think about exactly what you're saying about the words coming out of your mouth. There's no sinister intention here.
Your words in your mouth are defining you as a thing owned by males. I'm not calling you that. You are.
So based on what you're saying, Define, you're saying that your value is solely placed on what you've done with your vagina or what you can do with your vagina. Outside of that, you have no value. That's crazy. Like, I feel bad for you because you don't even respect yourself as a woman to know that to take ownership of your own body.
Yeah, you haven't talked about your development as a human being at all because you don't matter at all. The only thing that matters about you is what happened to your vajayjay. That's where your value is. Listen, your value is not in your mentality. Your value is in your vajayjay and only your vajayjay. That's you. That's what you're telling me.
Okay, so I don't know what's the woman's name who just talked to me. Who just opened the mic? Ripple. Ripple. She just said that I do not like respect my own body. That I
No, you don't.
What do you mean
don't.
by that? I have
No, you
never
don't.
been fucked before. I have never done anything with a man before. How do I not respect my body?
Exactly.
You don't even realize that you have agency over your own body. That's why you don't respect your body. It's not even about respecting your body. It's about respecting yourself as a human being and seeing yourself as a human being. You are inherently dehumanizing yourself when you say that I have to save my virginity for a man. Like, that's absolutely crazy. And so that's absolutely disrespectful to yourself.
Because your vajayjay is owned by the male you will marry.
Oh, so to make myself feel less dehumanized, I have to get fucked by a lot of men at clubs.
No,
And
you
other
just have to own your own sexuality.
Is
You
not.
just have to
no, 'cause
say,
when I leave my virginity,
you just have to say, I'm going to answer your question that you didn't ask because you're not curious. By the way, curiosity is a sign of intelligence, but it'll answer the question that you didn't ask. If you respected yourself, nobody owned your sexuality. And that would be the language coming out of your mouth, because I have plenty of people here who still have their V card or have a very low body count who love what I say, because what I say is nobody owns your body. Nobody but you. But your language here, talking to us, your body belongs to the guy you're going to marry.
Stephanie, can I ask
Can I
you
ask you a question?
yes.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm going to ask the question you're about to ask, but this is the question that I want to ask you. Because the very first thing you said was basically, I got the idea that you believe that it is very important for you to get married and still be a virgin. Is that correct?
Yes, and I know what you're gonna ask.
So, what happens if you're not? What happens to you if you're not a virgin
I'm
when you
not a
get married?
virgin.
What does
If I'm
it
not a
mean?
virgin,
What does that mean?
if I'm not a virgin, then basically that's like showing my partner that I have been used by many other men before. It's like showing that I'm
Okay,
only
hold
going
on.
to him,
I didn't
that I
say
only want him.
anything about many. I didn't use the plural at all.
Okay, not
I
many,
am
but just like
asking
used
you
before. That I'm not a
if you got married but you weren't a virgin. Let's just say that you only had the experience that made you not a virgin only once, and
So
it was
you're
something that you didn't want to do. What happens then to you
wait,
when you
so
get married and you are no longer a
What?
virgin?
No.
okay,
What
so when I get married and I'm no longer a virgin,
If it wasn't consensual? I think is what you're asking, Seafolk. Is that right?
if it
Yes.
wasn't consensual,
Before
then
you got married.
obviously it's different. Like are you saying like if it was rape?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, rape, that is something else. Like you didn't want to do that. Like you didn't
Yeah,
want
but
another
you're not a
man.
virgin
Why
anymore.
is okay?
You
But
didn't want to give
see,
your value to another man.
hold on. So you just said that if you're not a virgin when you get married because you were raped, that is better than
No,
not being a virgin because
obviously
you
it's not
wanted
better.
to have sex?
Obviously it's not better. Rape is never good. Rape will never be
Okay,
good.
Can we
but
chill out on the R word a little bit, guys? I'm sorry, just for the
I just
safety of this live, please.
yes, okay. I mean the TikTok shop is great. I love it. I use it all the time. But it's just it seems very strange to me that the idea is that if you had this experience and you didn't want that experience, you excuse that by saying it's different than having that experience because you did want that experience. Like
Seafolk,
one
can I?
is excusable and the other isn't. Do you see what I'm
In her
perceiving here?
culture,
Okay, I'm
in her
sorry. I don't
culture,
really
let's be
understand the
clear.
point you're trying to
I'm
make.
gonna
So you're
speak for
saying,
you for a second, Define. In her culture, since her body doesn't belong to her, she's not allowed to enjoy sex. That's why it's different,
That's very sad.
isn't it?
That's very sad.
you know about
Like
my
to
culture.
pose a less extreme example, although that is a great example. I'm not devaluing that. That is a very valid
Right.
example. But let's say, for instance, you are a virgin, you get married, and by some freak accident, your partner dies, your husband, wife, whoever it is, dies, and you want to remarry. Does that make your second marriage less valid because now you're not a virgin?
She got no value.
No, it
She got
doesn't
no
make it
value,
less
Ripple.
valuable. It just
She didn't
that's
save it
like
for the
those
second
are
guy.
really oh my
Sorry,
god.
Define. I don't think Ripple heard me. I'm gonna say that again. She has no value, Ripple, because she didn't save it for the second one. She should have seen far enough ahead to save it for the second one. So she has no value now.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's like you guys are not letting me speak because I was actually trying to make a really good point to Ripple, I think it was, who said something to me, and I'm actually trying to answer it.
But if you guys are not gonna let me answer, then there's no point in me talking with you guys here. So please just let me answer and stop muting me, for God's sake. Thank you. So I'm saying those are really cruel things. Rape. If you get raped before marriage, then obviously you're not a virgin. Those are things that you just already know the answer to.
Notice how disrespectful she is.
I just think it's so like it feels disturbing that like it really does feel like as long as you're not the one in control of what is happening to your body in this way, that's fine. But as soon as you do it because you want to do it or you're curious or you feel like it's the right time for you or you want to express your love for someone, like if it's your choice, then it's bad. Like I don't know if you can hear yourself saying it, but I hear it quite clearly, and it kind of bothers me that you don't think you get to have control over your own self like this.
She was never taught that she was allowed to own her own body. That's why she doesn't think she owns her own body. And that's why her thinking, her saving herself is owning her own body, because she's brainwashed.
It's just so sad.
But before we get to the other panelists, can I just interject? The reason she was dropped was because she's not minding the language. She's being disrespectful in that way. Please watch your language on the panel for the safety of the live. Thank you.
That's exactly why I dropped her.
I just wanted to ask the question because I saw it and I wasn't sure if she saw it. And I mean, I guess she didn't. Anyway, thank you. Good to see you. I'm going to drop down.
My question was actually going to be almost the same as Ripple's. Almost. I was going to ask, what if she got married to a guy, saving herself, and then the guy turned out to be a complete jackass, starts to beat her. Does she lose value?
Well,
because,
let's just point
because
out
of him?
that male that you're talking about is going to be high value to her if he hasn't slept with other people. So that abusive male is high value for her because of what he didn't do with his pee-pee, because value is all about the genitalia and what the genitalia does or does not do. So if both of them are virgins, that's a high value relationship, even if he's abusing her. Weirdly enough. Mr. Nick, what did you want to say?
Hi there. Thanks for letting me join.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, just from a male perspective, I wasn't sure if you guys have had too many male panelists up here, but I agree with your guys' your topic. The body count doesn't matter. And the reason why I agree with it is because, and this has always kind of been my mentality on it. If you start seeing somebody, you start dating somebody, and you guys are slowly getting to that point where, you're going to make the decision as to whether or not this is something going to be long-term, if you guys are going to commit to each other, whatever the case may be is. And then during that process, you find out that the individual has a high body count. I don't think that should change anything. It doesn't change the person's personality. It doesn't change how that person makes you feel. It doesn't change how that person or what that person does for you, or what kind of value that person brings into your life. From my experience, most men that I know that have a problem with body count, it usually, honestly, and I don't mean this as an insulting way, it usually boils down to low inadequacy issues. They feel, I don't know, inferior, or they can't separate the fact that this person had a life before them. It's one thing that I'm very thankful with my wife. When my wife and I met, we were very honest with each other and very open with each other about our past relationships and our sexual escapades, so to speak. She never judged me for it. I didn't judge her for it, because at the end of the day, it didn't change how she made me feel about her. It didn't change how happy she made me. It didn't change anything like that. But I will also say that I kind of understand in some people's situations where sometimes high body count might, I don't know, make a difference to them. But usually when I meet individuals like that, it's more of a cultural or a religious perspective, not so much of like a personal opinion, like, oh God, you disgust me kind of thing. Like, it's usually something to do with either their culture or their religion, in which case I respect that. But if you're just hating on somebody because they had more sex than you, or smex, sorry, than you did, that just kind of sounds like your issue. And honestly, until you are able to get over that, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship.
I agree. I agree.
I say it's 100% what Chantel teaches, and that's why the 3-month methodology coincides with this topic so well, is because we're more interested in the quality of the person, not who they may or may not have had sex with before they met us.
This person says, what if it was 800? So is there more to this person who slept with 800 people? Can you tell me more about their personality? Because you seem to want me to decide if this person should be in my life based on how many people they had sex with, but not on their character. That seems really weird to me. I'm a little bit more logical than that. So this person slept with 800 people. Are they everything that I surround myself with in terms of character? Are they honest? Are they loyal? Are they trustworthy? Do they have work ethic, goals, ambitions, financial responsibility? Are they kind? Are they funny? Are they thoughtful? Are they conscientious?
We need more data points, not so narrow-minded that we're focusing on one data point to make an assessment. You can't make an assessment off of one data point.
Ladies,
I did want to ask a question.
stupid people want you to judge people based on their genitalia. Intelligent people want to be assessed based on their character and patterns of behaviors. Nick, go on.
I just wanted to ask you a question, Chantel. I have a friend of mine who kind of went through this, and I supported him, but I kind of wanted to get your guys' take on it. So the individual that my friend was seeing kind of hid certain aspects about her personal life, and when things started getting serious between the two of them, she came clean and she admitted to him that she was involved in the smex industry. And
in what way?
Sorry, pardon me, Chantal. She's on that website. I think it's called OnlyFans.
Got it. Yeah. OS. Yeah. Okay. No problem.
So he asked some questions, and she was very honest with him about everything. And again, the reason why she didn't kind of come right out and tell him, it wasn't from malicious intents. It was the fact that she's had issues with men who have found out about what she does, and then they just immediately drop her. And she was concerned that my friend would do this. So he found out about all that information, and he decided that he didn't care. It is what it is. They've decided to keep dating. I fully support it. His parents found out about it, and there's been some family drama where they don't want to accept her into the family, and whatnot. Would you agree that people are within, I don't want to say their rights, but could you understand why somebody would have an issue with their partner being involved in the smex work? Or is it just kind of like a superficial thing? I'm just genuinely curious.
So notice the second word in sex work was what, Nick?
Sorry, pardon me?
What was the second word in sex work?
Industry?
Work.
Work. Okay, sorry.
Work, right? So an intelligent woman, would never pick somebody who has a problem with my job, because they have a problem with my bread and butter. And if I'm in a relationship, and I did this mistake once, I got in a relationship with somebody who had an issue with me being a stripper, and I lost out on tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, probably over $100,000, at least, if not $200,000, because I gave him agency over my life. I gave his emotions and his insecurity. And by the way, that guy cheated on me. So that was for nothing. So I don't think a woman should ever be with somebody who has a problem with her job, whatever her job is. She should not be with them. Now, this guy who has parents who have an issue with her job, my question is, what's the relationship between him and his parents? The thing for her to do is to go low to no contact with the parents. So never see them, basically, because why would I be around people who don't like me? It doesn't make any sense. So the parents are no longer allowed to come to the boy's house should they live together, because it's their home and the parents don't like her. So you're not allowed in my house. So that's how it should be, is you're not allowed at my house because you don't like my partner. You want to make an issue out of something I'm not making an issue out of, that's a you problem, not a me problem. So I guess you're going to have to stay in your corner. I'm always the ambassador between my partner and my people. So that would be my parents or my friends. If my parents or my friends said I have a problem with your partner, I'd be like, well, it looks like you're not hanging out with us, because I don't have a problem with my partner and I didn't pick a problematic partner. So if they have a problem with your partner and it's valid because you picked a shitty person, maybe you should be listening to your parents. But if they have a problem with your partner and you picked a good person, but they have issues because of their insecurity or their closed-mindedness, I say reduce the amount of time you spend with the parents.
Down to as well, you're provide, protect. You're protecting your partner in that way, and that's there's something to be said about that for sure. A lot of value in that.
And that's kind of why I was on my friend's side on this one, because I told him, I said, I mean, like in my head, her job doesn't affect his parents, or really anybody for that matter, doesn't affect anybody's life. And at the end of the day, she's able to pay her bills, and they're able to take nice trips, and they have financial security. So I don't think it really should matter. I definitely don't think that it should be used as a way to being able to judge somebody on a personal level. You can have a problem with somebody's job and still find a common ground with that person to respect them. So yeah, that was kind of my take on it. I just told him, I'm like, you know what, that sounds really shitty on your parents' side. I really hate to say it that way, but it really does. And you're just going to have to make that choice as to whether or not your relationship with this girl is worth having that uncomfortable conversation with your parents or not.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, I have no contact with my mom. So there's nothing wrong with choosing your environment and reducing the toxicity, even if that means eliminating parents. Just because I came out of your vajayjay doesn't mean you have access to me.
I just generally wanted to ask that. So thank you very much for answering that. And just out of curiosity, is that Dating Coach podcast, is that your podcast?
Dating Coach podcast, that is mine. So I do have a podcast. This is just like a title to this channel. I kind of own my name in multiple ways across many platforms. So this is my second account right here, Canada's Dating Coach. That's actually my main account. So my business name is Canada's Dating Coach. And my podcast is called My Dating and Relationship Podcast.
I will have to check that stuff out. Thank you very much, guys, for letting me come up here.
You're welcome. We appreciate you.
Have a great one.
Bye. Hey, Chantal, I agree that eliminating toxicity in your life is necessary, but it's so hard with family, and I know that because it took me more than 30 years. I'm 30 years plus now, but it took me 30 years to cut from my parents, actually.
Yeah.
And I should have done it like 10 years, maybe more earlier, but it took me so long.
It's the hardest breakup you'll ever have. It's the hardest breakup. Have you too? Yeah.
The person requesting has been in the chat, kind of touching on purity culture and stuff, and speaking purely from opinion, not fact. I don't know if you want them up here or.
We'll bring them up. I guess we'll play with them.
Okay.
Thank you, Ripple.
Meanwhile, Ripple, can I ask you a question, Ripple?
Yeah, they dropped. I don't know. I guess they didn't want to be up here. What's up, Labu?
I wanted to ask you, are you single and dating?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been asked this question yourself, like on the first date or second date about body count?
Never. Not from men or women. Never. It's only been on the internet.
Okay. So, in your personal experience, it's never happened to you?
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, lucky you, I guess, because but I don't know if it happens that much actually. I have no idea.
I'll say something about that. So it doesn't happen that much, but we have to understand that there is a culture of oppression that is trying hella hard to oppress women. And if we ignore that this culture exists and we don't create sound counter-offensive to how they're trying to control and manipulate us, then we will be overcome because they have an army and we are unprepared. So many of us haven't come across people that said body count matters, but there's so many of them out there and you've seen them in your own culture, in your own country. We can't deny that they're there. We can't deny that they're trying. We can't deny that they're trying to get into politics, and we can't deny that they're trying to change the laws. So if we are lax with our counter-offensive, they will get on top of us and they will control us.
Okay, I see. So basically, what you're saying is the message and this speech about body count and the right for men to have the control over women's body is spreading, and your job, well, our job as a society is to counter-attack this speech at the same level in the society. Correct?
Yes.
All
Because
right.
here's the thing, like if I'm not talking to parents today, and if I don't get to parents and I don't have parents getting dating 101 and educating their teens, knowledge is power. The more you learn, the more comparison points you have. The more comparison points you have, the more you can discern what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. And so when we educate our teens early, and then they come across somebody who's red pill saying body count matters, our educated teen says, no, my sexuality is never controlled by other people.
And you can't kill an idea, right? Like it's just an idea. The idea that body count matters is just that. It's an idea. It's not an inherent truth. We have proven time and time again, especially in this live, how it is not a truth at all. So the idea is there, but it doesn't have to become a truth. It can't. It's not.
Yes, and it's hiding something much deeper than the actual subject of body count, right? It's about controlling women's body. That's the issue.
Sure, 100%. And people come across this page and misinterpret the purpose. They think that, oh, we're saying that, body count doesn't matter. You should go sleep with all the people, go do whatever, rack up a bunch of bodies. And that's not the point. The point is to say you own your own body, do what you want with it, and don't listen to anyone who tries to tell you what to do with your body. No one controls how you choose to explore your sexuality.
But don't you think it's scary that women, like the one earlier, I don't remember her name, can actually have this speech about her own body? It's kind of scary, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's sad. And I think a lot of that comes from indoctrination. In fact, I would be willing to bet that comes from indoctrination, either from her culture or a religious background.
Yeah, she basically said that her value dropped with the number of partners she had, and I think she took the example, like kind of an extreme example of someone who wants to get fucked every night by a different man. But I mean, even with that, if you want to have fun with your sexuality, I mean, what does a personal value has to come with it? I just don't get it.
Yeah, and that specific example was a testament to exactly what I was just talking about, where she was interpreting what we were saying as she thought we were saying I should go get fucked by a different person every night, right? Which is not what we were saying. We were saying no one should tell you what you should do with your body. You have agency over your body, and you should respect yourself enough to not give somebody that control to say that I should control what you do with your body before I met you.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even in this kind of extreme example,
I mean, if you want to explore your sexuality and you know, having multiple partners, maybe some at the same time, well, what does your personal value as a person drop? It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird idea.
I gotta say, all of the many, thank you, many people that I've been with in the past makes me appreciate my husband so much, because the way he kisses me, the way he touches me, the way he holds me, the feel of his body, just that perfect puzzle piece fit with mine. Oh, I appreciate him so much. Lilies, I want to do, oh, Ripple, yeah?
I was just going to say, I love that you say that, because we see a lot of people who come on here talking about fear of comparison, and your comparison with your husband to past lovers is a good comparison. Like, you're seeing how much better he is. And I think people are just so afraid of being compared negatively.
Yeah. But their fear, their dysfunction, their insecurity is not going to be our problem. My husband was not afraid of comparison. He was just afraid that I blew him up too much in my mind, but he wasn't afraid of being compared to other males.
Real quick, there was a bunch of purity culture BS in the chat. Purity culture leads to ignorance. It leads to higher rates of STIs. It leads to higher rate of teen pregnancies, higher rates of abortion, higher rates of just abuse. It's so much. And whenever I see purity culture come in here, it's so icky and gross. It's like, it's not, it's, you are so much more valuable than what happened with your consensual body.
Yeah. I'm going to do a book walk for you guys, and then I'm going to head out for now. I'm going to do some stuff for my hubby today. I saw there's some, oh, Meta think. I'm going to do some last new people before I go. If there's anything new to maybe add.
I have to leave. I'm going to, actually, I am going to my date right now. So thank you so much for having me. It was very cool. So thank you, Ripple. Thank you, Chantal. And have a good day. Hope everything goes well in your life.
You too. Thank you. Have a good one, my love.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Madam, what did you want to say?
I wanted to give you a little update on how it went with the giant women feed.
Okay, what's the update?
So, and it's also seeing if I did right, quote unquote. He never answered, but he read it very fast. And so I decided I wanted to block him, but just before blocking him, I sent him a text, which, if you don't mind, are you okay with me reading it?
Sure, yeah.
I set it aside. Where? Here. There you go. So I said, it seems you've made an interesting assumption. Did you expect you could obtain kinky content without building rapport? It looks like you've developed some sort of belief that kink without trust and patience was anything but looking for sex work. This shortcut is only facilitated by financial compensation. Since I am not a sex worker and you are not a client, I would recommend you take this as the opportunity to search for kink advisors capable of teaching you about etiquette in the kink world. And in the meantime, I will concentrate on selecting a partner who will not assume I am looking for a quick, zero boundaries hookup. It was interesting, though.
Did you feel better having sent that?
Yes.
Why?
It gave me the sense of, instead of sending a last message that was a question that was unanswered, I closed the door with the key that I kept.
Right. What if you had closed the door without taking the time to type all of that out?
I would feel a little doubt. I would feel a little like as if like a part of me is still having to work out but maybe he's like maybe it's not his fault, which is a
But
big
what if
reflex in me.
you sent all of that and then you blocked him, right?
Yes.
What if you had simply blocked him?
I would have had more mental space used up for me to accept that I was starting to set a boundary.
I would like you to not waste your time going forward, writing him things that he doesn't care about, trying to instruct him to be the kind of person he doesn't care to be. I would rather you go through that in your head, tell yourself everything you need to say in your head, or journal to yourself anything you need to say to yourself to help you not waste your time. But the next time, don't send him all of that. Simply block him when you see that he's not respecting you. I want you, this is what I want you to do, because you are all this. I want you to focus on your goals. I want you to focus on your work ethic and your financial responsibility and your ambitions. And I want you to take the time that you would have spent trying to teach some schmo how to not be a schmo when all he wants to be is a schmo, which is a waste of time. I want you to take those minutes and reapply them into yourself, because that was a bad investment of your time and attention. It went nowhere because he doesn't care at all. So take that time and attention that you would give to a schmo and give it to yourself instead, and go make some more money.
Yeah. Well, I will go back to listening to you, although you were just about to leave, but while working on my sociology studies.
Ooh, yes. So the next level of sociology is women no longer playing mommy and therapist and teacher to these guys who don't want to actually follow our advice.
Yes.
I love this, Meta. Thank you, Meta. We appreciate you.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Hey, take a look at Bobby just for fun. I'm going to block and delete him just for you. Block, delete. See, I didn't take any time to try to teach him how to be a good human being. I just got rid of him because I knew he wasn't here to learn how to be a good human being. So I didn't waste my time with him. Ladies, no more wasting time. Okay, lovelies, I'm going to do a book walkthrough. I'm going to introduce you to each of the 11 books. Yes, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to introduce you to my 11 books and 3 workbooks. You can get all of these on paperback on Amazon. There's a button to Amazon.com in the link in my bio. I have ebook bundle deals and audiobooks as well. Those buttons are in the link in my bio. And there's a free book in the link in my bio, which is Fake Love Need Not Apply: How to Avoid Posers, Losers, Scammers, and Predators. Now I'm going to go through these in order. I catch you where you are, lift you up from there. If you are going through a breakup or divorce, get Comeback Queen. This is going to help you get through the healing process faster. If you are thinking about getting into a relationship in the future, near future, or soon, right now, whenever, doesn't matter, get No More Assholes. This is you studying for the test before taking the test. Even if you're not ready yet, you can start preparing yourself for a healthy relationship by doing the first 3 sections in this book. This is the No Kissing for 3 Months dating methodology. This is observation before selection. Here we have it in Spanish as well, No Más Culeros. So selection before observation, letting them kiss you before you knew who they were, is a scam. Now you're going to do observation before selection. You're going to say, show me who you are, because I don't get scammed. So make sure you get No More Assholes if you're going to be choosing a long-term relationship. Men who don't want to get scammed, your dating book is the perfect play. Mom and dad who don't want their teens to get scammed, their dating book is Dating 101. I also have After the First Kiss. When you start a brand new relationship, you're going to make it rock solid from the first day. This is setting a solid foundation for your first year together. The Fix That Shit books is advanced communication and conflict resolution. This is you having a zero fight relationship. So we have Fix That Shit for men and Fix That Shit for women to help you learn to take responsibility for your own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We have Say Yes to Goodness, 10 Steps for a Complete and Happy You. This is general life coaching. We're going to elevate our happiness in 10 separate areas of our lives. Career coaching is custom made. You're going to understand what your talent or your purpose or your passion is. If you don't know that yet, we will figure it out. And then I'm going to teach you how to monetize it. So turn it into a side hustle, turn it into a career like Mama did. I'm celebrating 10 years of turning my passion into a job. I'm going to be celebrating that October 25th, 2025 in Niagara Falls. I'm having a conference and a dance party. So those of you who want to grab my latest book, it's the Glow Up Journal. This is a focused journey, a 2-month journey on increasing your confidence, your self-worth, and your self-esteem, doing exercises that are scientifically shown to change your brain structure. So I always like to take the easiest approach to changing you. So we start with your brain structure. I also have 3 big, beautiful workbooks. You can get those on Amazon in paperback as well. These have bonus material. There's the No More Assholes workbook. You always have to see the inside. If I don't do this, you guys get angry. The Fix That Shit for Men workbook. And there's the Fix That Shit for Women workbook. Okay, angry is a strong word. You always ask me, can I see the inside? Yes, you can. So go ahead and use the buttons in the link in my bio, my loves, for your free book, your audiobooks, ebook bundle deals, paperbacks on Amazon. I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time for minimum 2 hours, as always. Des, thank you. Ripple. Thank you, my lovelies. Winnie, M, Shelster, Chris Sipog, Miyagi, Tony, Kara, Raising Athletes, Dondra, Brittany, Emily, got a couple Emilys, Krista, Blooming, Wolf, Twisted Princess, Vane, Amber, Solomon, Chelsea, Cloud. We have Joey and Anita, Francesca, Ugly Loser Club, Hannah, Beauty is Forever, Amelia, Black Butterfly, my love, Jenny, Thando, Sinshops, Cooking, Savage, Ian, Casey, Courtney, Ryan, Megan, Rocky, Reese, Lauren, Lucas, Margarita. Always love seeing you here, my loves. I will see you soon. Sending you love from Kenya. Winnie, love everything about your energy, my love, back at you. I love you back. Hendrix, have a wonderful day. All right, lovelies. I will see you soon.